Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Dylan, and it's your boy Rockin Robbie here once again. Another Saturday, and man, what's going on, Robbie? Good to have you, brother.
Oh, it's awesome to be here, Dylan. You son of a bitch. Thank you for having me.
As always, bro. Great to have you here, man. I'm just so glad that you had so much fun that you wanted to come back once again.
Oh, of course, homie. Absolutely.
Hey, we got is that S squared as you call him? First in the chat.
Oh yeah.
We got Chaos. What's up, brother? My boy Robbie Wayne. What's going on? One of my high school buddies, actually more like middle school buddy right there.
Team Rob.
Been getting him into some comics and stuff lately, so I've been happy about that. CMA Thunder. What's going on? We got Robbie in the chat. We got Bruce. What's going on? And who was that? Jerome Greenwell. Sorry if I said your first name wrong, brother.
This is JG. What's up, JG?
JG.
Boom.
Yeah. Damn YouTube. Yeah, my bad. Me and Robbie got caught up talking with each other for a second behind stage.
We did.
But
maybe I should have come in a little bit sooner than like 2 minutes before 7. But man.
Oh man, no worries. I'm sure I was getting some food and stuff before, so I know how it is, man. You get caught up, and I've been going all day too. So, but
we had technical difficulties. I had a cereal box fall down.
Yeah,
and I was like, screw it. Christopher Lee Dracula right there. I got that at Memphis Comic Con.
I've seen that recently. Is that a little bit newer, or did you just put that back up? Because I love that, man.
I put it up recently.
What's up? Or I was gonna say on a comment how cool that was.
Hell yeah, because I know that me and you both love the old school horror, right?
Oh yeah.
I got that in October at Memphis Comic Con. I cannot remember the artist's name right now, and that sucks. I need to know he has some amazing prints, and he had these like 3-dimensional headshots that he had done that were like more expensive, and I had already spent some money that weekend. It was a great weekend. I met Liana Kang. I mean, I already had met Liana Kanga. So I met Vita Ayala. I met Scott Snyder that weekend. I met Mike Norton, who does Battle Pug and Grumble. Really cool. Made a lot of connections. But meeting this dude, whoever that was, oh my God. Like there was a Shining one that was really good. It was Jack Nicholson, right?
Oh, nice.
But it was, that moment when he's like just looking and you can tell that he's just like the evil sinking in. And he's just like, and I was like, I don't want to hang that on my wall. Like that's gonna bring bad shit in my house, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
But yeah, that Christopher Lee one's dope, man.
It is.
Yeah.
You got a little blood hanging down the chin too, I think.
Yeah.
Man, that's so good. So cool.
Well, I'll pull it down. I mean, it's straight up from I think he takes these and I think he probably just like paints over an actual image because that's straight from a movie, I
love the shading in there too.
Yeah, but look and the border, and each one had he had a bunch of different like sci-fi and horror.
I wonder if that's him. ES, does that look like on the border? Wonder if
I don't even maybe
logo or something.
Who knows? And there's some kind of, if you look really closely, there's some kind of like something printed on there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like I don't even know what that is. It looks like it's
a gold banner.
It looks like some kind of Asian characters on there. I don't know what that is.
Yo, what up, Joe?
Yeah.
Good to
who
see
knows,
you, brother? Drugs, guns, and wizards.
Hey, this is like 3 of my favorite things. What are we talking about? I'm just kidding. I'm not really much of a gun guy. I have nothing against guns. I've never fired a gun, and it's something I've always.
Me either.
I've told homies of mine that are into guns. I was like, I've never even fired a gun. I feel like as a man in this world that we live in today in 2020, I need to know how to handle a gun, and I've never actually.
Have you held one?
I've held them. Yeah, I got a picture of me holding my homie Holshoe's AR-15 or whatever, some kind of. Like he took a picture of me holding it up, and I looked at the picture and I was like, that looks fucking scary.
Dude, just holding one.
Just holding one's crazy.
Loaded.
Yeah,
it's intimidating.
I need to fire one. I think everybody should know how to fire. My woman, my lady, my miss, she knows how to handle a gun.
Yeah,
I don't. So like if shit ever went down in her house, she would be the one that would have to handle it with our gun, like not me. I would like, what's this? I've seen movies. I know how to work a super soaker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now someone's watching the stream. They'll be like, I want to make it to Robbie's house. I know that he doesn't know how to use his gun. Whatever.
My bad. I have Bueller come stop in and say what's up for a moment because I know.
Oh, hell yeah.
Say what's up to him. I forgot to tell him earlier. And I was like, hey, because I talked to him after last week and he was like, he had the stuff going on with Todd McFarlane going to see him. I was hey, I was like, you want to come hang with me and Robbie for a few? And he's like, yeah, he didn't get back to me till later. And he was like, oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't see it. But he's like, I was like, well, no worries, man. He's going to be on next week. So he's like, oh, awesome. Well, I'll come stop by.
And if Bueller wants to stop by, that's super cool with me.
Hell yeah, I figured.
I got like a little bromance thing I'm trying to develop with Bueller right now, man.
Bueller's the best, man.
I think he's amazing. I spend every Monday morning with him and Bob. His channel, Everything Comics. Are you subscribed to that, Bob?
Yeah, Everything Comics, dude. I really like. I'm glad he added Bob because I really like what Bob adds to the show. I like their a dynamic back and forth. Their little banter, even when they're just messing with each other.
Oh, absolutely. I love it so much. Bueller's always welcome, though. But yeah, Bob's super cool. And I can't wait to actually meet those cats in person one day.
Yeah, man.
I'll make my way to Rose City Comic Con or something one day.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'll justify it because I'll be like, I don't need a place to stay because I know my homie Bueller's going to let me stay with him, right? Somebody told me that. They were like, so like Emerald City Comic Con's coming up and Vault Comics always has a major presence there. And it's at the end of March, right? And I live in damn Alabama, right? So Alabama to Seattle, I mean, you can't get much further than that, Dylan. But my homie was like, no, you could go ahead and do it. And he was like, the plane ticket's cheap. You can get in for free because you're a retailer. And I was like, yeah absolutely. Because Diamond does that. They even have a retailer breakfast. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. And maybe I should figure out how to get to Emerald City. And then, but it's the hotel cost. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like to pay for a hotel.
People forget about that stuff too, man.
That would make it way too expensive. And then my homie Mike was like, he was like, well, you're in good with the Vault guys. And they always say, if there's anything you need. And I'm like, well, I should just show up and be like, yo, by the way, you remember how you told me that if I ever needed anything to let you know, I need a place to crash tonight. Let me get you a hotel room. I would never do that though.
Never. No, Bruce, not every Saturday, but we will try to do it whenever we can, brother. Because we was just talking about that where we don't want to hold down. You know what I'm saying?
We don't like to be obligated.
Yeah, we just want to hang out whenever we're able to, and that's good with me because you know what I'm saying. Everyone's got their own things going on, but I know Robbie will come anytime he's available, man. And
Saturdays are mostly free for me now. Occasionally they're not, when we're filming video or something, life is happening. But
yo, what up, Coffee Breath? Second Street was just doing a show with him actually right before it. Like I got a little 45-minute break between, but me and him and Chaos and Comics were doing a live stream before. Oh, cool. Actually, that will be one we're gonna start. Me, him, and Chaos are gonna be doing that every Saturday around in like the mid-afternoon. So it's like 5 p.m. Eastern for me because he's out in Cali, I believe. So it's like two for him.
I'm always at work.
Yeah.
I have to check it out sometime if I can.
Hell yeah, bro. Oh, you got to work Saturdays too. Because what does your shop open 7 days a week?
Oh, of course. We want to make money every day. Man, why would we be closed?
Yeah. My shop, I don't know if he's closed Sunday, but I know he's closed every Monday. He's not open. Like if my guy could take off every day, he would just probably be open Wednesday.
We have a staff, you know what I'm saying? So like if it was just me and another guy running it, we would have those times off. I used to run a comic shop called Comic Corner / Rocket City Collectibles, RC Squared, as we used to call it, back in the day. And we would close on like Sundays, right? Because we only had like 4 people working there. My shop, we got like 30 people working there or something. So, I mean, we're a full operation, so.
Hell yeah. So you have, it's like you and one or two other guys in the shop at all times, or like you and one other guy?
Oh man, we have an entire section devoted to card games, right? Like Magic and Pokemon. So there's always somebody staffed there.
Okay.
There's always at least two people in the store, like on the counter, because we have, it's kind of a big store. It's 2 stories, right? And the second story is all gaming, and we have a warehouse and an eBay office up there that we run. And then downstairs, I think all in all, I think we're 10,000 square feet, but it's through 2 floors. So even the bottom floor, which is the retail space, there's a lot of space to cover. So we usually always have 2 people on staff there, and 1 person in the card gaming section. We do, because we do the comic books, we do the gaming, and we do Warhammer, Flames of War, all that miniature stuff. And I'm not into that, and I feel bad. Customers come in and they're like, yo, what do you think about this game? And I'm like, I don't know, but do you want to read a book? You want to read a comic book? I can tell you about a comic book. But
upstairs ain't my section, brother.
Yeah, right. And then we always have a manager there. I'm the store manager, so I'm the lead guy there.
Right.
I do not own the shop. Edward Walls owns the shop, and he's a super legit businessman. And but I'm the store manager. I got a couple of assistants that work under me, so that we're always staffed there. And now it's a fun operation. It's really cool. Today was a Magic pre-release, for instance. So we had a lot of people in there playing Magic, and we're just like, go over to that other counter, because we just know about comic books here.
Yeah. Did you never say? I never really did Magic either. I never got into that at all. Magic.
And I got into Magic for like 6 months, and it was fun. Magic is a really fun game, and it really requires a lot of strategy, right? It's kind of an intelligent thinking game. But it really, if you want to keep up with it, it's a money sink. And if we're already reading comic books, we know how much of a money sink that is.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's like, do you need another one on your hands, especially when we got comic books and then we got our collectibles, which, for the figures, I mean, cause come on now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We have a toy section too. Like we got my buddy, Mike, who I do, he actually started off doing podcasts with me when we did the Smile or Else podcast back in the day in like 2012, right?
Oh, nice.
End of the world. And, Mike is actually our vintage toy guy. So we have a lot of vintage toys. That's why, in your own thumbnail for this video, I'm right there next to a Terradrome from G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah.
And that's because that's from my shop. I don't have a damn Terradrome. I wish I did. I wish I had the room for it, but,
Oh, man, that would be cool. Hey, we was talking about him for a second. I was telling you about that show. My boys decided to come stop in. What's up, Two Brothers Comics? Great to have you stop in, and I appreciate it, man, because I know they got some busy stuff going on. One of them's got a lot going on with their daughter, so I appreciate you guys coming to stop in, man. JB, what's going on? Still repping Magic, saved my life. Oh, that's what's up, man.
I still enjoy playing it. Like Brooks plays it. If people that know my channel, they know Brooks. Brooks still plays Magic, and he loves it casually. He doesn't stay competitive. It's really expensive to do that. That's a focus, But there are people that I know that have won like major championships and stuff like that. But man, it's not fun to lose in like 3 minutes in a Magic game. You know what I'm saying?
Get your cards all taken from you. They're like, you want to play for your deck?
Don't get into Magic. Stay with comics.
Yeah.
I
never, honestly, because I did Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon growing up, and you know what I'm saying? I learned my lesson.
In fact, at my store right now, there's a Magic pre-release and a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament going on right now.
Is there?
Yeah,
but Yu-Gi-Oh! is fun, though. I mean, but
if you like Yu-Gi-Oh! I think you would like Magic, to be honest. Magic the Gathering is really fun.
I was going to say, they're kind of similar, aren't they?
No. I like
not at all. Just card games.
My homie E, who runs, he's one of my assistant managers, and he runs our Yu-Gi-Oh! And gaming department.
Yeah.
And he tried to teach me Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I had to know how to play it in order to be a tournament organizer, to be a TO. I had to learn how to play it. Yeah. And no, it's not the same. I think Magic is much more streamlined, but that's just me. And like I only ever played it for like 1 week, just to learn, but you know,
Yeah.
it seems like what I've always heard is it's a stepping stone system. It's like Pokemon into Yu-Gi-Oh into Magic, right? Like, and they kind of progress in level of thinking.
I was gonna say, yeah. I had a feeling that Magic was more like mainline or whatever, like you were saying. It's more upgrade because it seems like they keep playing that more and more. You know what I'm saying, throughout the years at least. But hey, we were talking about him, and the homie has decided to make an entrance. What's going on?
Oh my God! It's the Bueller.
What's going on, guys?
Not much, brother. Great to have you here as always, man.
Appreciate the invite, Dylan. Good to see you. Good to see Robbie as well.
Good to see you, buddy.
Glad you can make it, man. I know you got a busy schedule. So
I'm never that busy. I don't know what Bob's coming over tonight. Like I was telling you, we're doing the coffee video tonight, but I don't know when he's coming over. So I just kind of have everything set up, just kind of waiting for him to show up. So I'm free until then. So
we
were just saying how much we love Bob.
This is the first appearance one, right?
Yeah, I kid you not, man. I read all the comments last night, on the video. There was about 90 comments, and I read every one of them, and it was so hard to pick a few. I usually only pick like 6 or 7, but I had to go with 10, and I couldn't cut it down. And when we film this video, we usually do a first 5 and final 5 when we show the books and stuff. We're cutting that out because it's going to be so long. I can't do it. It's literally, we got to jump right into the topic go because there's so much stuff.
What do you think, buddy? You're like, wait till the video.
Yeah. I have it'll be a fun conversation. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to next week's question. It's Bob and I sat down, or we were on the phone a few days ago, and he's like, eventually we're going to run out of questions. And we literally sat down and came up with like 30 more topics.
Yeah. That'll
last. And they're good. They're all like really good, intriguing topics to talk about. So I think I have about 40 to 45 different topics before we have to recycle and kind of go back to the well type thing. So I feel pretty good about it. So I'm excited to get this one go, and I'm excited for next week. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be really good. So
heck yeah.
I
love that show, man. It's so good.
I was going to say the same, man. It's one of the best. And you got a lot that are one of the best. Like the BS is just hilarious.
I just watched a little bit of the BS show from Wednesday, and I just watched the clip where Sam brought up the candle.
Oh my God.
And I just watched it was like a 10 or 12 minute conversation, and I'm like, I gotta cut that out and like just post that segment on and just title it, vagina candle or whatever, and just because it's so good. It's clean. It's clean, so that's good. It's not like we just go over the edge, but it's just such good, fun, conversation, I guess. So it was.
Well, if you saw on Perry's, that conversation continued. And Perry's might not have been as clean.
Well, it's always good to have a clean one.
It was I was gonna say when you said that, I was like, no, you sure you got no pun intended there? You want to have a clean candle. Oh my God, that was just crazy. Hey, what's going on? Wished upon a vlog. Good to see you.
If you compare the BS show with the coffee show, it's like yin and yang, man. They're totally different shows, but yet they're both entertaining to say the least. So, and this last coffee video that we did, it came out Monday. It's our most watched one by far. It got over 4,000 views, and it's still going.
Hell yeah!
And I was like, wow,
awesome, bro. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, dude, they're really. I think people are really digging them.
My brother just said eggnog.
I know that's what I was gonna say. When
caramel latte, man, caramel latte.
When oh my God,
what's up, two brothers?
When Bob was telling you on that coffee and comics, when you were just mad about, you're like, they didn't have my eggnog coffee. They told me they were gonna get more, and they were just out. And he's like, well, I gotta break it to you. they didn't want to tell you, but they're all out. And you're like, that's not true. That's not true. I was laughing so hard. I was even like telling my mom about that the other day. I was like, because she was talking about eggnog. I was like, speaking of eggnog, I was like, my buddy Bueller was just having the funniest like talk about that. And that's his favorite coffee himself. So that's my mom's favorite one too. She loved it.
He was right. They were out. And they actually went to another one of their locations and got the eggnog from there and brought it over to this store so I could have it.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Hey, I got to ask Robbie. Robbie, is anyone from your shop going to Comics Pro?
What? What's Comics Pro? What are you talking about?
It's the National Retailer Summit.
Oh, man, no. If anybody went, it would be me. Where is it?
It's in Portland. It's next month. So
yeah, no way.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
I wish. I was just talking to Dylan about how I want to go to Emerald City so bad.
Yeah.
And, but yeah. I'm in Alabama. That's a long way away.
Yeah. You know, honestly, instead of Emerald City, and nothing against Emerald City, it's the Washington State Summer Con is the one you want to go to now.
Yeah.
That's the one that's just as far as just flat out legendary creators. God, it's just amazing.
Well, I always want to go to Emerald City because that's like Vault has a very strong presence there. And I still want to meet a lot of those guys in person. Like, we just did oh my God, yesterday. We just did we brought back Comics Revisited, which is a show where me and I have a guest on there and we revisit a classic comic book or something, whatever, right? And we did a Friendo, which is a Vault comic book by Alex Packnadell. And we actually had Alex show up in the stream, and it was beyond expectation. It was really fun. Bueller was there at the beginning too. Yeah. I remember seeing him there, so that was super fun.
Here's the thing, people. If anyone watched that show just yesterday, Robbie was clean shaven on that show.
I know, right?
That's what I was going to say. I was just going to say that.
You know, he says in that show that it was filmed back in October.
Yep.
That's the reason. So his hair does not grow that fast.
Yeah. And it's going to keep happening. Next week in the planetary video, it's going to be a little bit, more grown in. Yeah. In October, for some reason, I decided to go clean shaven for a whole, let's just take it all off. Yeah. And I went to work the next day and one of our employees looked at me and they were like, "Did you lose a bet?" I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what? So I very quickly try to grow the beard back. But
there you go.
I lost a subscriber when I grew the beard, to be honest. How crazy is that? Has anybody ever had to deal with weird obsessive subscribers at times? There was this one dude who was all about me not growing a beard. And I was like, whatever, let's talk about comic books. And he just kept getting nasty. The only person I've ever really had to block from the channel because he just wouldn't stop. I was just like, well, I even told him in a video one time, I was like, look, if we can't keep it about comic books, because he started insulting my lady and getting personal, and I'm like, you can say whatever you want about a comic book. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to about me, but don't bring my homies and my lady into it. That's kind of effed up, right?
No, I've had a few of those over the last couple of years, so it happens. I mean, do you ever go back and look and see how many subscribers you lost?
I used to, but I don't. It doesn't seem like now. It seems like when you do lose subscribers, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal anymore. But back in the day, I used to be like, why did we lose that guy? Like, why did we lose this? I lost a person one time because I say what's up, guys. I say guys all the time, and I was like, oh man, I'm not trying to gender anybody. I'm just okay, I'm sorry.
That's just kind of how I talk. I even sometimes I'll call it a chick a dude at times, and it's like it's just.
I mean, I get it.
The main thing is to gain more than you lose. I mean, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
As long as that happens.
I went back and looked at my lifetime, subscriber gain and loss, and to date, I think I've lost 1,500 subscribers.
Holy cow!
But I gained 9,000.
You can actually see how many you've lost.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know who they are, and maybe some of those people close their accounts, or maybe they've come back. But it just shows an overall total. And to date, I'm very happy to say that I've lost over 1,500 subscribers.
Wow. I don't even know. I should look mine up too. It'd be interesting because I also see that because we used to do like trailer reactions, and we did a Star Wars trailer reaction one time. It was for Force Awakens, right? It was very early days. I didn't even cover comic book stuff yet. And we had a lot of people jump onto the channel. And then we had a lot of people leave. They were like, I guess this isn't a Star Wars channel. Hey, David Hatch is here. That's one of our #1 guys over at the PCP Army.
Good to have you, David. Thanks for coming to hang out, brother.
David. I take his lunch money every week. He's a customer of mine. He comes in the shop every Wednesday, and I take his lunch money.
David and my boy Biggie came to hang out. Good to have you, Biggie, as always. Thanks for showing up. And we got Tom back.
I lost like 20 subscribers in one day when I put out my Neil Adams interview where he talked about how he didn't like Donald Trump. But I gained 50 subscribers that day. So it's like, what do? You know, it's like, okay.
Yeah. And plus, man, what I say is those people that you lose, it's probably for a reason, and it's glad that they bounced because they would have been probably just starting BS or something in the future that you just don't need in your life, man. You don't need that drama, man. They're not real day one supporters. I'd rather have 100 real devoted supporters than a couple thousand of people that don't really give a shit and don't even really care and just want to start shit all the time,
Yeah. And some of those people still come back, because I consistently get like 4 thumbs downs on every video I do within 6 hours. And I'm like, that's got to be the same damn people. But that's dedication too, right?
The thumbs down people are the most dedicated fans.
Ooh, yeah, they are.
they're looking for every single video. Man.
She said,
every one. Boom, there it is. Boom, there it is. Even before you go live, if you have a premiere schedule, it's already got the thumbs down. I mean, they're on the pulse of the thumbs down nation.
Yeah. I'll have a damn live stream planned, right? And I'll be like, damn, I got 2 thumbs down. I didn't even say it yet.
I have like 1 or 2 haters always lurking, I guess, watching my videos, throwing the thumbs down. I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing something right now. I made it because I got a hater.
Yeah.
Man, I might even have 2.
It does.
Wish Upon a Vlog said she lost 200 subs last week.
Wow.
That's a lot to lose at one time.
I think she told me she's got like 11K though.
Oh wow. Well, that's probably normal. I guess maybe that's a little bit different than where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I usually lose like 80 a month, but then I gain about 400 to 500 a month. So I mean,
I lose like 1 or 2, and I'm like, no, what did I do?
I know that sometimes what happens is YouTube will actually go through and clear out inactive accounts and accounts that are. So sometimes you'll see a big jump, like a drop down, and it's usually just because YouTube has decided they are no longer valid channels or subscribers or whatever.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I hear people always say it's
tell yourself that
YouTube
whenever it happens.
Yeah, just remind yourself that that's probably what it is.
The algorithm, big deal.
Yerp, what up, Perp? Good to have you, brother. We
got minded. Oh man.
So what were you guys talking about before I got on here? Anything good?
Who remembers? That was like an hour ago.
I think we were just talking about some Universal Monster stuff, I think, for a second. But yeah, we were talking about like that picture you had and some artwork. We go all over the place. Me and Robbie.
Who knows?
Nice.
It was probably related to comic books or pop culture or something.
Yeah.
You like the old
or candles
movies?
What was that?
Do you like any old horror movies or anything like that, Bueller?
You mean old ones in black and white or just the 80s stuff?
I mean, 80s stuff, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s.
I like the older horror movies as long as they don't have anything to do with children. Children creep me out. I have 2 of my own. And, like Pet Sematary, I can't take it. I watched that movie. Dylan might not know what this is, but I saw it at a drive-in. And don't go see Pet Sematary at a drive-in theater. But anything with kids, I can't stand. It just drives me nuts.
Okay.
But all the other stuff, I've always liked horror movies and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
especially zombie movies.
Doll Island. Doll Island and what was it? Sink. Those are like two that I gotta get. Sink and then Doll Island, because that's what Robbie recommended was Sink, and then you recommended that Doll Island.
I don't even know if that Doll Island came out. I don't know. I never saw it.
I didn't see it either, but I thought it did get a release date.
It did. It had a release date.
Yeah. The you know what's funny about Pet Sematary? People that like, some people will love it their whole lives. Like, I've loved it. I always have loved it. I even love the second one. But then when they have kids, they say that they look at it in a whole different light, because once you have a kid, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, losing it, how you're losing, the guy loses his son and then brings him back. But yeah, that was always such a creepy one. Funny thing, I might not be in here, but I literally have a Funko Pop of that dude, of Gage. With a little horror Funko Pop.
With the cat, the one that comes with the cat?
Yeah.
That's a good pop. I almost bought it myself, but that's something Warren Ellis said when Warren Ellis did this book one time called Scars, and it was a horror book, but it's about this dude whose daughter is kidnapped, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, as a parent, there's nothing scarier to me than that, like losing my kid. Something happened to my kid.
Do you have a favorite horror movie? Me
personally?
Yeah.
I would say Suspiria by Dario Argento from like 1977 or something like that. I love that one. That's probably my favorite. That one. I love the original Bela Lugosi Dracula.
Yeah.
I love Michael Myers Halloween. You know.
Me too.
I love
Michael Myers is my favorite, like, slasher killer or whatever.
Yeah.
Him, and I always love Scream too.
That's really good.
I always like Nightbreed. That was one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you guys saw that one, but
we talked about that last week. The Clive Barker.
Yeah, it was so good because, you know, the whole movie is the monsters are not the monsters; it's the humans that are actually the villains of the story type thing. And I just like that dynamic, and it was creepy enough type thing. So that's probably my favorite one.
Yeah, I just see that Perp Minded said The Shining. I love the original Shining. And
they got kids in that one. I can't take it.
Right? Okay, but nothing bad happens. Okay, I got you.
Nothing bad happens.
I haven't seen Dr. Sleep yet, but I love every year. I appreciate The Shining even more. Yeah,
this is that's fun cool. Though. So I don't want to take forever looking for it.
Brings back memories.
Even got the blood all over the cat. That crazy, that creepy ass cat. The scariest thing, I swear, even before the kid or the cat, though, is the sister, bro. The sister with the all screwed up back, and that was actually a dude playing that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to think. Rachel. Oh my god, that was so creepy growing up. And then I found out in the making of it that it was actually a dude, because they couldn't get a woman that was like that creepy to play it. So what were you saying? Nightbreed. I never really watched it fully, so I can't really judge it. But I was saying I never really got into the Clive Barker stuff until I'd never really liked Hellraiser. I never really watched it growing up, and I watched the first one a couple years ago, and I was just like, I don't understand what everyone goes so nuts about it for. And then I watched like the sequels, and I see, they kind of world build a little bit more in the sequels. I was like, okay, I guess I can understand what it is. They are pretty cool, but I'll have to check out Nightbreed one of these days and give it a full-on watch, because I do hear a lot of good things about it. Some people seem to really, really like that movie.
Watch the director's cut.
Yeah, that's what. Because there's the Shout Factory.
What about like fun horror movies? I mean, they're horror movies, but they're just kind of fun to watch. Do you guys have?
Yeah.
Like Shocker was one of mine. That was like just
Shocker. The Wes Craven film.
Yeah, it was dumb, and stuff, and just kind of fun
just so
watch.
Fun though.
I love People Under the Stairs.
I love that one. That's the one. Dude. That's my one exception for the kids thing. Is that one?
That one, like, literally scared the shit out of my grandmother. Like, after she saw that, she, like, won't even go in. She probably still won't go in a basement nowadays. Like that, like, because they used to live out in kind of like the boonies. So, she was always, like, she saw that movie and she was, like, scared shitless. But I'd say one of my favorites to watch just for fun is like Silver Bullet and The Lost Boys. Those like I could just Lost Boys, man. That's just so much fun. There's so many.
Badass.
The Blob, that one I can just watch for fun. Like, you ever see The Blob?
Like the 80s one?
Yeah.
The original one with who is that? The original one is
You got the Shout Factory one. This thing is the shit.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I love it. Love it so much. I
like watching Monster Squad for fun. That one's a fun one.
Oh my god, I love that. That's one of my favorites too. This one I got. This one it's just like a badass vampires one. You ever see John Carpenter's Vampires?
Oh, I hate that movie.
It's like not the best vampires movie, but I like that it's it's got an interesting like kind of different take.
No, you can like it. I don't care. I'm not gonna hate you.
No, it's not like one of my favorites though. Like I'm not gonna just sit
Wood's
there
really good in that movie
and say it's my favorite. I do like it though. I do like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it. But
Yeah,
I was collecting John Carpenter's stuff, so that's really why I bought it.
Great.
But it's not like
today's John Carpenter's birthday. Actually,
I've not. Is it? Well, happy birthday, John Carpenter! If you're watching, brother.
The Thing is one of the best ones. Halloween, of course.
How about Chopping Mall? You guys see Chopping Mall?
Chopping.
Yeah. I watched it recently with my brother.
Fun horror movie to watch.
See, The Thing is definitely that's probably my favorite. The Thing and They Live, but The Thing.
They Live is a fun one.
They Live is so fun.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to think of the line. He's like, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
And
I heard Roddy Piper. He was the one who gave that line to John Carpenter because he used to just make up badass lines for WWE, and he was trying to figure out a kind of a line for it. Man, that was a good one. I love both. There's that, and then the Frogs from Helltown or something that I love. Like Roddy Piper did like 2 movies, and both of them are.
I watched one of those. That was a horrible movie.
The frog one, it's so good.
Can't be movie, but I couldn't stop watching it.
The Evil Dead movies are another one I love to watch for fun.
Yeah,
Children of the Corn. Everyone keeps talking about Bueller.
Children of the Corn's a good one, but yeah, Bueller can't watch it. It's got
that one drives me nuts as well, man.
I never was big on that one, honestly. The first one was pretty. The first one's the best, but they have so many. I had somebody tell me that the second one is really good, second or third. So I kind of want to watch that now just to see. Did you hear about they're doing a new Invisible Man?
Yeah, it looks so bad to me.
Oh wait, wait.
Is in it,
but that's not the Invisible Man I'm thinking of. Like I thought, I know I saw that because that's but that seems more of a remake to Kevin Bacon's Invisible Man.
It's like the Hollow Man movie, right?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So that's not like the Invisible Man I'm thinking, like what we think of when we think of the Universal one.
Universal was going to do that one with Johnny Depp. Right, and then Johnny Depp was going to play. Is it Harry Griffin or Harvey? I think it's Harry Griffin, the Invisible Man. But that was when they were trying to do that thing that was going to spin out of the Mummy. But
with Tom Cruise, they were gonna. I wish they would have went for that. I guess because Mummy tanked so bad, but it's like, come on, man. So
they've been trying to do that since Dracula Untold. Dracula Untold was actually Van Helsing.
That was the first one.
Well, Van Helsing was supposed to be the start of a shared universe, right?
The Hugh Jackman.
And then they did Dracula Untold, and that didn't work. And then they did The Mummy, and that didn't work. And it's because they got Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman, right? The guys that do like the Fast and the Furious movies. That's not who you need to do a shared cinematic universe of the Universal monster movies. Don't get the Fast and Furious guys to do that. Tom Cruise, you're making a Mission Impossible movie with the Mummy. Like that's not where you need to get Guillermo del Toro involved in that. You need to get someone who's going to do a Victorian age horror film, even if you want to set it in the modern day. And I love those films, and it can be done. But everybody always shits on those properties, and it just sucks. It's like at Marvel Comics, and you're like. Every time they try to give you a Blade book and it sucks, and you're like, No, all you got to do is take the Wesley Snipes blade, take the classic blade, and make it work. And nobody can seem to do it. That's why, me personally, if any Marvel editor is out there listening, I have a 5-year plan on Blade that is outstanding. And
Yo,
yeah,
please
so
get him, man, because I am I'm sick of this, man. Putting Blade on the Avengers, that's cool, but I need a
he's good in
solo
the
Blade.
Avengers, you know, he's good, but you don't focus on him. He's just there for like laughs, you know.
He's a sideline.
Yeah.
But Exorcist, that's a great one. Everyone's saying. And Mark Spector, good to have you, brother. Thanks for coming and hang out. But The Exorcist, that's a classic, no doubt.
They need to have a team up of Blade and Shatterstar together. How about that? That'd be a nice little team up, like a buddy comedy type comic book with Blade and Shatterstar.
A little banter back and forth.
Yeah,
man. They gave Shatterstar a damn mini series.
Yeah, they did.
It's like, where the hell? Come on, guys. I don't know what the hell is the deal. Why they won't? We got that like one shot with him and Wolverine versus Wolverine, which really cool. I love that shit, man. I loved it. But
I don't think they have any plans anytime soon for Blade, as far as what I can see. But hopefully, when we get closer to whenever they do a movie or a TV show, whatever they're doing, I can't remember if it was a movie or TV show. Hopefully, they put out a comic book to kind of go along with it. Would be kind of nice.
That would be. I hope they do something. Well, hey, Mark, I hope you're all good. I know you said you're at the hospital with the snowstorm. I know it's snowing out my way too, but be careful, brother, and I hope you're all good, you know. Stay safe out there, bro.
So, Dylan, did you have any did you read your books this week?
Yes, sir.
Anything stand out?
Yeah, I would say Dead Eyes 4 really stood out, and The Question. I really like The Question, and I've never gotten into him. Everyone tells me I should read that Denny O'Neil, I believe Danny O'Neil, or is it, or Denny O'Neil, who did the original run. Robbie is the one who. Robbie's like, you need to track that down. I don't know how I'm gonna track it down, but I need to find it. So.
Yeah, I hadn't picked up my copy of Dead Eyes yet. It's still sitting at this other comic shop. I got to go get it. But I've loved that. I've loved that book so far. Loved it.
It's me too. So good.
Yeah.
Every issue. Get that incentive if you can, bro. I wish I could have got that incentive.
The red one?
I don't care about that stuff.
The red incentive? I got one, Dylan. Yeah. What do you want to pay for it?
That's what I was saying. I seen it on Midtown for like 12, but this one
I'll sell it to you for 8. God damn it.
There you go.
There you go.
That ain't bad. You
gotta pay for shipping now.
Yeah, I know. So there we go. We back at 12, but then you'd have to pay shipping for Midtown. That's probably like 20.
Well, nobody ships for free. Come on. Not even Amazon ships for free.
Robbie, I know you like The Red Mother, number 2.
Yeah. Did you read it yet?
I did. I read it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, they sent me a preview copy of it beforehand, and
holy shit! Look at you.
A preview copy or a full copy?
No, a preview copy. So I read that, and I read Folklords number 3. I know you're a fan of that one.
God damn, Bueller! Now you're making me jealous.
I'm trying to make you jealous. That's my whole goal coming on here.
Well, today I read X-Ray Robot number 1, the new Mike Allred book that comes out from Dark Horse.
Oh yeah, well I helped him ink it, so there you go.
Oh yeah, okay, sure.
Jeez.
What else? I read something else today. Oh, I read Alienated number 1, which is a new Boom one from Cy Spurrier or whatever. That one was pretty decent. That comes out in I guess in February, end of February, beginning of March, because it was FOC. So usually at FOC they start sending us stuff.
Nice.
So you got an in and at Boom, Bueller? Is that what you're saying? Okay. You know, I did reach out to Source Point Press, and they gave me the email to send, and I still haven't sent it. I need to send that in an email. Get a look at that. Yeah.
I have Source Point Press stuff as well. I just for some reason I haven't because they put out Doll Island, and they sent me all that stuff and to read and everything, and so
I should have hit them up so they can send me some Doll Island to review.
But I love that The Red Mother number 2. Really enjoyed it. You know, it's got that slow burn type thing, like something's killing the children going on. Artwork looks fantastic, and it's it didn't progress the story tremendously, you know, from what it was, you know, from the first issue. but it didn't have to because it's building that suspense.
Yeah.
You know, to where you find out more, and the creepiness factor when she's like in the very beginning of the book when she's just sitting there and her boyfriend, you know, or a vision or whatever it is there type thing. I mean, it's a good read. If people are missing that Red Mother, they're missing out. It's really good.
Boom's doing really cool stuff. And that Alienated book I read was really cool. It had some really interesting elements, and it's basically about these 3 kids in school, and they all 3, and they're completely different kids from different cliques and a different experience, right? And they all come across this like alien cocoon or whatever, and now they're telepathically connected. Yeah. And it's really interesting. It was pretty cool. And I don't usually dig too much on the Cy Spurrier work, but I thought it was a really, really cool first issue.
Yeah.
And the X-ray robot, I didn't like it as much as I wanted to, but I still love the Allred artwork. And like, I'm just a big fan of his stuff.
You know, I'm hearing that there might be a chance that Vault might pick up Midnight Vista.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I know that they have a really good relationship with Elliot, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And they've released 2 books. In fact, the, Midnight Vista is Elliot trying to tell this story about something that happened to him when he was younger, right? Yeah. And there's other elements to it, right?
Yeah.
And it's him exploring that. And I think that's a valid exploration. I'm really big into very weird and esoteric and conspiracy theory minded type stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I eat it up. You know, I'm always skeptical about everything, but I'm really into like alien abduction stories and like contact with alien intelligence or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I think Midnight Vista was really cool. I liked the ending. It was just so sudden that there's got to be so much more there. But Vault was the first company that let Elliot tell that story in one of the cult classic short stories.
Mm-hmm.
He did a little bit. It's like a 2-page story, right? And oh man, I think Elliot's such a talented writer, and Vault's such a great company, and I would love to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Get blossomed out there.
Yeah, because they didn't intend for it to stop after 5 issues.
You can tell
they wanted to keep going for a while, him and Clara and stuff, and it's just that the sales weren't there after number 1, and they actually Aftershock canceled it like right before number 2 even came out.
Yeah. That's the way it goes now, and it sucks, especially when you're an independent publisher like Aftershock is. To let a book even go a little bit further is it's a big risk, you know. And I think that's one of the reasons why you've seen the shortening, because it used to be, we're going to give this comic book. Well, back in the day, it was we're going to let the comic book go and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Preacher didn't sell well for 12 issues, you know. Sandman didn't sell necessarily that well at first. The Invisibles by Grant Morrison, which is my favorite comic book of all time, outside of Fantastic Four, like never sold well, you know, and that stuff doesn't happen anymore because nowadays they shortened it. They were like, we're going to give you 12 issues and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh no, we're going to give you 6 issues. And now it's 5. 5's like the new number. And if it doesn't work in 5 issues, they're going to let it go. And even Vault has had titles that could go further, but they don't. Like She Said Destroy. I haven't heard anything about a new, more resonant, which would be cool.
Yeah.
And even when Elliot was over at Vault, when they started Cult Classic with Return to Whisper, that book released 2 issues and then it disappeared for like a year and a half or something. And then they finally brought that back, and then Creature Features coming, and I would like to see more of that. And I think that would be amazing. Have you ever read Hot Lunch Special by Elliot? Either of you?
I've got a couple of them. I still need to read it. I flipped through a couple of the books. I don't have number 1. That's why I haven't started reading it. I have like number 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
So I got to get the first one. But just the artwork alone, it's just like, what am I looking at? That thing.
Yeah.
So
it's good.
I want to show you my Midnight Vista book. Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah.
That Creature Feature, that's the cult classic, isn't it? That's the one I really want to read.
That's his current one right now. Did you read Midnight Vista, Dylan?
No, man. I wish. I keep hearing so much good about it from Bueller and a bunch of other people. I wish, man. Like I said, it looks so amazing. I already want. Damn, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's why anytime
Look at
Bueller,
that
if
cover.
you ever got any recommendations for indies, let me know, bro, because I'm trying to get into that stuff 2020. And I
There's a
told
lot.
Robbie to do the same for me because my shop never has any of these indies, man, and I'm missing out on so much, and it's just a huge bummer.
So this one was sent to me from Clara and Elliot, and they personally autographed it for me. Elliot wrote, "To Bueller, watch the sky." Elliot Ray Hall, and then Clara sent me to Bueller. Thanks, Clara. So really cool. I don't think you can see the autographs or whatnot, but
Yeah.
Oh, I could see it in the, right
Yeah.
below it. Dude, that is the coolest cover.
That's a gorgeous cover. I've never seen that cover, man.
yeah,
Me
that was
either.
Was that a con exclusive or something?
That
No.
cover sells me on the story of Right Alone.
I think it was a 1 in 10, and for the first issue, that's the only one that had a variant for it. So
We probably had it, and I just didn't notice it then.
yeah, I had the original cover, then they sent me this, so I got rid of the original one and kept this one. So
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that book. I thought it was good. That the final issue was good. I really loved it, but then it ended like that, right? You read it, Bueller, number 5?
I flipped through it and kind of read it a little bit. I haven't picked it up. I didn't have time to grab the book.
Yeah.
So I was going to go by there today and get it from the shop. It's at my secondary comic shop that I normally don't go to. But I already flipped through it, and I know, the ending. It's like he was telling the truth or something like that. Is that kind of what the ending is? And then it just ends. That's it. That's the end
Yeah,
of the
well,
book.
they do the whole thing with that dude that leads that cult, right?
Yeah.
They do that whole thing, and then they just wrap the whole damn thing up in like 2 pages.
Yep.
Yeah. And you do that because you're like, well, we're canceled, so we don't know what, we got to do what we can to make it seem like it's over. You don't want it to be lingering and it never comes back, I would love for that to come back. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they need a volume 2. Would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I haven't heard that Vault wants to pick it up, but that would be super dope for real.
I would hope so. I hope that like you said, that Elliot's relationship with them is pretty good, and type thing, and you can tell that that's a passion project for him, telling that story, and I'm sure he still wants to tell it in some form. So hopefully he gets the opportunity to kind of elaborate on it. I mean, and just so everyone knows, it's loosely based on what happened to him as a child.
Loosely, yeah.
And when I say loosely, it's very loosely based type thing, but it's nice to, I like sci-fi. I like the alien type thing, and I'm into the X-Files. That's one of my favorite shows of all time, and this book reminds me of that type of thing.
Yeah. So. What's really cool about it too is like you said, it's loosely based, like the inciting incident, the idea that Elliot went through an abduction experience, right? Yeah. And he is still, and if something like that happened to me, I would still years later be trying to work it out in my head.
Yeah.
And it feels like that's what he's doing with this book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's adding so many, it's not just about the sci-fi element of it. It's not just about the conspiracy element of it. There's a lot of elements to this. Yeah. And I want to see that develop further because I think he's got a lot of exploration to do, and I want to hear it.
Yeah.
And Claire's artwork was great for it, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I like her artwork. It's a different type style. I try to put my finger on it, and I can't really place it, because it's a little cartoony mixed with a little bit more detail than cartoony.
But it's very expressive.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And I like it. It fits that storyline very well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that art style would fit, say, a Thor book or a Marvel type title, but this type of title, it fits really good.
Yeah. That would fit well in like a Power Pack book or something like that.
Power Pack book, Jesus.
Yeah, it'd probably pay more, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It would only last 5 issues, but
yeah.
Yo, I gotta shout my boy Discovery Bay Comics sneaking off from his family time to go allegedly hang out in the garage is what we call it, and come stop in and say what's up. Yo, Robbie, I don't know if you've ever heard of Discovery. I mean, he does some amazing stuff, and if you're ever looking to snag some books for cheap, he does an awesome pop-up shop and has literally like people buying lots and giving them away. Like he'll do $1 books, $2 books, $3 books, $10 books, slabs and stuff for $10 slabs for $10 last week, and people literally bought. This one guy bought a whole round of $10 books. So 12 books he'll put in one lot in one round, and one guy bought 12 books, $10 a piece, and gave them all. He kept one for himself and gave them all away to the community.
Oh, that's cool.
And I actually got a Donny Cates signed book because of it.
Nice.
So
Hell yeah.
man, he's doing crazy things, man. So if you ever want to check it out, bro, I just had to throw that out there because that's one of my homies, man. He always showing so much support for everyone in the community. Like seriously,
I wrote it down.
He has a show. He literally has a live stream that literally is dedicated to shouting out whatever is coming on. Whatever shows or episodes or you know what I'm saying. Whoever's dropping something that day. It's crazy, man. He just showed so much support. It's awesome. But we got some more Comic Assassins, and there's a Comic Assassin came in. What's up, brother? Shoot. Oh, I was gonna ask what issue is Midnight Vista on now, Bueller? Issue 3 or 4, I'm guessing.
Number 5, and that's the last one. Just came out
okay.
Wednesday, and that's the final issue, number 5.
Nice.
The other independent book I've really been liking is Pandemica. I know Robbie read the first one. I don't know if he's jumped on it since. They just put out issue number 3. It's I like the book, but it's a heavy book to where it's dealing with some really, maybe sensitive topics and issues, but I kind of enjoy it type thing because I think that it's a good versus evil, and obviously I'm rooting for the good, but the subject matter in the book deals a lot with race and stuff like that, and it's not an easy read, but I enjoy it. I think it's done pretty well.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of hard to explain it. You kind of have to read it to see what they're talking about. But Pandemica, they're only on issue 3, and it's trickling out. Like it's not every month. It seems like it's every 6 weeks when that book is coming out right now because they're only on issue 3, and that book came out like 4 or 5 months ago. So
there's some books that you kind of gotta, sometimes like I know Robbie knows this, where you kind of read so many books in one day, and then sometimes you feel like some books aren't as good because you've just read so much that day. Then if you go back and reread it when you're kind of a little bit more fresher, sometimes that happens where I'm just like, oh, this book didn't really do it for me. Then I'll give it a reread, and I'm like, oh, this is actually a little bit better, or a lot better. Sometimes there's just that book where you haven't read anything all day, and if you read that, it's just absolutely awesome. And there's sometimes if you've just read 10 books, maybe that, like you said, it's a little bit more dense, then you'll just be like, oh, what is this or something, it's like too much. But who puts out Midnight Vista?
It was Aftershock.
Aftershock? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to check that out. I want to look into that, especially because it'll probably be coming out on trade soon.
Yeah, it is. They're doing a trade of it.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to get into more of that stuff. I'll have to maybe hit up Aftershock and be like, send your boy the trade and I'll review it.
Huh. The only Aftershock I've ever gotten early looks at or have been through the creators. I got early looks at Killer Groove, which is one that just released from them in 2019. I think the trade just released a couple weeks ago, and I really like Killer Groove. That one is it's about this dude who was he's like a musician in the 60s during the hippie time or whatever. Yeah. And then now the hippie dream ends, right? And so it's about that culture shift from the 60s into the 70s. Yeah. And it's a crime fiction book too. And he realizes that he's trying to make music still in the 70s, but he's disconnected, right? He's got a shitty job. He's not happy with his life. He doesn't have any true connections with people. And then he winds up killing this dude this one night. And afterwards he writes a beautiful song. And so he's like, well, if I kill people, I can write music again. So he becomes an assassin. So it's Killer Groove.
Oh my god!
How clever, right? But no, it was really good. So cool. It was really good.
That's so cool. I noticed too, man, that it is I got one of the publishing companies to hit me back, but it's better, I think, to hit up the actual writers or artists.
Well, my secret was, if you are on Twitter, a lot and interact with these people. You'll notice at times they'll go, hey, I got this book available. Who wants to check it out? Right. And then you'll just be like, yo, me. And I had the added benefit of the YouTube channel and then being a comic book retailer. So I was able to be like, I'm a retailer. So I want to read it to see if I want to buy it. And by the way, I liked it. Do you mind if I do a video about it? And they're like, oh yeah, do it, for sure. And you're like, well, when can I release it? And you just, that kind of stuff. And then that's how I got in really good with Vault. And I just loved everything they did. And then, I get in with creators that way. And that's pretty cool. And no
doubt.
Yeah. So like
little double whammy.
Yeah. And the creators, they kind of seem to have a really strong cohesive community on Twitter. Twitter's a really fun place to be if you want to network with people.
Yeah.
And that's where I made all my connections. I know other people have done it through Instagram. That's never really been my avenue. I get on there every once in a while because of we're all on there. So I like to chat and see what you guys are up to.
Right.
But Twitter's where, and I'm not even on Twitter all the time. Like I'm not even, I don't know. Social media is kind of like, I can't wait till I get to the point where I can pay someone to do social media, and then there would be a more consistent, stream of information, I guess.
I hear you, dude, because I don't even be doing it that much, like at all. I just more check it out, if anything. But I hit up Michael Morisi, and he actually messaged me back, but he
Did you say Morisi?
Morisi, yeah.
Yeah, he's a super cool dude. I love Michael.
I don't know, man. He's super cool, no doubt. I was surprised because he's a big art writer, But I might have said something that he didn't like. I don't know. I didn't really say anything because he messaged me right back, and then as soon as I messaged him, I saw the like typing bubbles pop up, and then he never messaged me back. So I was like, did he not like what I said? I don't know, but I didn't even say anything. So
I don't know. I know he's a very busy dude, and he's laid down.
That's probably what it is, honestly.
He does a lot of work. He's starting to get work with Marvel and DC right now.
He just signed a deal with Vault too.
Yep, he's doing more work in Vault
or something.
He's a novelist as well. I read Black Star Renegades, which is one of his first novels. He did a sequel to it called We Are Mayhem.
Yeah.
That I haven't read yet, but it is straight up Star Wars. It's like his version of Star Wars. And he even says, he was like, no, that was my editor. He was like, I know you and he's a huge Star Wars guy, right? And his editor was like, I know you like Star Wars, so why don't you write me Star Wars, but just make it a little bit different? And he did. and it's awesome. Like you read it and like, well, this is Star Wars. And it's like, well, yeah, but that's the point. But it's different, but it's still cool. It's really cool. Michael's Wasted Space is my favorite.
I know. I think I told him that I heard like amazing things about Wasted Space. I don't know if I mentioned you to him because I didn't know if maybe you've talked to him before. So I know you.
He actually today sent me the new issue of Wasted Space, which comes out on Wednesday. He sent me today, but I haven't had a chance to check it out yet.
What does he send you? Because he was like, "Are PDFs cool?"
Yeah, he sends me PDFs. That's what
was. I just kind of figured it was a digital copy or whatever.
Oh yeah, you just click a link. You just click a link and it'll take you there.
That's how I got Finger Guns.
Yeah, it's the exact. Yeah.
Did you read that?
Finger Guns?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. It was
coloring is really good and very important in that book.
Yeah, the coloring was A1. I'm excited because I think, issue 1 was a great start, and I'm like really excited for issue 2.
Yeah, it's a very brisk book. You get through it like that, but it's very snappy and it's really cool. And you see the room for a lot of subtext to be built up in that. And when they first announced it, Adrian, who's the editor-in-chief of Vault, said nothing but very positive things about his vision for that book. And Val, I think, who is the artist, I'm hearing lots of crazy noise. I'll have to step out. I'll be right back.
Oh, no worries, bro. No, I never heard that though, Perp. I know what show you're talking about too, but I haven't watched that show. Trying to say I look like that creepy guy from You. You ever heard of that show, Bueller? It's like a new show on Netflix, and this guy, I think he like stalks this girl, and he's just like crazy as shit.
My one of my best friends, he watched that show. He told me it was pretty good, but I haven't watched it.
I think I heard it was pretty good. I'll have to check it out because I'm always looking.
No,
I don't have that much time to watch stuff, I feel like, anymore. But I've been like on an Arnold Schwarzenegger binge where I've been watching like old stuff I used to watch when I was a kid. So I've been watching. I watched like Commando today.
yeah.
And then Wished Upon a Vlog was telling me about asked me if I watched Total Recall, and I was like, yeah, not since I was little as hell. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that again.
Well, make sure you watch the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, not the.
Oh yeah, I know, cause that's the only one I remember really was the crappy Colin Farrell one.
Yeah.
But dude, the girl from that's in Total Recall, wow, she's like absolutely gorgeous. That tries to be his wife, Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife, or the fake wife.
Yeah.
But I was watching Kindergarten Cop 2. Kindergarten Cop, that's so good. So good. And twins, oh my God, that is just they're so good. All good, brother?
Yeah, a lot of people were arguing outside and somebody slammed a car door. It just sounded crazy. I was wearing my headphones. All I could hear was just chaos.
Man, yeah, I know. I hate when that stuff happens. Hey, what's going on, 1-2? Good to have you, brother. But yeah, what were we talking? Finger guns before you left?
Yeah, it's a good book.
Yeah,
I liked it. I'll be there. I'll be there chatting, with you guys during your thing tomorrow.
I like when you said that too. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, I hope I don't have to miss Robbie's show now. And then I'm watching your video and you're like, I'm gonna start a half hour early. I was like, yes. So I don't only get to do my interview, but I get to watch Robbie's show before.
Yeah. I was like, I want to check that out. And I was like, man, I don't, lately I've been doing just a clean hour on a live stream for me seems to be pretty difficult nowadays. So
yeah,
I'll just start a little bit earlier. No big deal.
So what will you get to do? Like an hour and a half or 2?
An hour and a half. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You usually don't like to go more than 2 anyways, though, I don't think.
2 is extreme for me.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm not like you. I won't do a 6-hour live stream.
Those are crazy. I can't do them no more, though. I can't. Because it totally screwed up my sleeping schedule. I was like sleeping till 6 in the afternoon for like a week or 2 straight after that. Oh.
What was that?
my wolf of a dog.
Okay. I was like, what the hell was that?
He should be good, but he thinks somebody's here, so he acts like a guard dog.
Were y'all talking about Total Recall or something? I see a lot of comments about that.
Yeah. Because I was, did I tell you I've been on like my Arnold kick where I've been watching Twins, Kindergarten Cop, Predator, Commando. Yeah. I watched Commando today, and I had Total Recall on before, and we were talking about like he's like, I hope you're not watching the remake. I'm like, nah. I was like, that's the one I remember is the remake, but I was like, I haven't seen the original in so long. Bueller, Dylan.
Well, I know that Robbie's a big fan of the Conan.
Yeah, I love it.
You need to watch
it's awesome.
Arnold Conan movies.
They are Red Sonja's cheesier, because that's another one he's in. But the first Conan, I rewatched them recently, like when not real recently, but when like the Conan, when Marvel got the rights to Conan back, because I actually used to watch those with my grandpa when I was younger. The one I was telling you about, Robbie, with the Universal.
Yeah,
he loved Conan. He had, when he died, my dad told me he had like all like the book collection, and somehow I didn't see them, and they got probably thrown away. I was like devastated because I was like, oh my God, I would have taken that whole collection and read them all. Like, I was so bummed, man. The Robert, he would have probably had, who knows too, he would have probably had like, he probably got them like when they first released too. Who knows, man? Because he loved Conan and Lord of the Rings. So
I always liked The Last Action Hero. Has always been one of my favorite Arnold movies. It's kind of like a comic book movie, really.
Yeah,
It's just a fun movie, you know. It's not.
Oh yeah.
It's just kind of fun, mindless fun type thing. So that's one of my.
Majority of his movies, I feel like, are just fun. Yo, what's going on, Bake? Good to see you. But yeah, I think True Lies might be one of his a little bit more serious films, but that's not even really that serious. That's kind of more just fun.
Yeah, I see a lot of people in the chat say they really liked Eraser,
That was good.
which I think is cool.
Eraser.
I think
Eraser?
the Eraser.
That's what I thought you said racer. Like
Eraser.
R-A-C-E-R.
One of my favorite Arnold films that I think is severely underrated is The Sixth Day, the one with Robert Duvall about the clones.
Yeah.
I really like that one. I think that one's really good. That's just me, though. I like Running Man, too. Running Man's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's another one I was just watching the other night.
Yeah,
Check
Running Man's
out Heist from Vault. Two brothers telling me to check out Heist. No doubt. I'll have to check into that, brother. Is that another good one, Robbie? Heist?
I think Heist is all right. I don't think it's the strongest one, but I think it's solid. It's solid.
Yeah.
That's Paul. I can't remember right now.
Blart.
What?
Paul Blart.
No, I don't.
Whoa. Bruce, Robbie could give you maybe some insight about that because I was kind of on the fence about it, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to keep giving it a shot because from what you said.
I think that 3 was the one that kind of sold me more because they added some really cool sci-fi elements to it. And it's not just that America's closed itself off. There's something metaphysical and scientific that's happened there, maybe like science fiction-y. And I liked that. I thought the 3rd issue was one of the strongest ones. So I liked the 3rd one. So that's just if after the 3rd one, if you're already on the fence, maybe you just, maybe you don't like it. So yeah. I don't know.
I was gonna keep giving it a shot because I know you said what was it? That you think they're like world building and stuff, but
yeah, I think they're planning for a good substantial run on this. So.
I really like the 1st issue, but I think I have to do
the 1st issue was
reread.
great.
I think I have to do a reread for issue 3, but it was kind of like, I don't know. I didn't like issue 2 though, like you didn't really.
Yeah, I didn't really like 2, but I thought 3 was really solid. They added those new elements. They started making the characters a little bit more fuller. But that's something that Snyder and Soule both do, especially when they're working together, is they get a lot of information to give out, and it's sometimes they just info dump, and that really slows up the pace, and that's something that really messed with the execution on issue 2 for me. But I thought 3 kind of did it a little bit better. But it's going to be a wordy comic. Are you guys part of the of Jim Mint's Facebook group at all? Either of you guys?
Yeah. What if someone said that he's doing a live stream Monday night, Jem and Fee interviewing them? But yeah, no, I'm in Jem's Facebook group. It's right here.
Yeah. He was reading the Chris Claremont, Jim Lee X-Men Omnibus or whatever. I think he mentioned this on Instagram too, right? And he was just like, what the hell? He put up a video about it, actually. And he was like, what the hell, man? This is so wordy. And so I'm like, dude, did you never read the 90s X-Men? That's exactly what it was. We just did a video.
For the Claremont, Mark Silvestri, and Jim Lee one, he was acting like I think he said he like hated it.
Yeah, he was, because it's really it's not, they're clunky. That's how comic books were written back then in those days. And we just did a video for Comics Revisited about Fatal Attractions, which is kind of around that same era. And whatever, David. No, I'm not. But what was I even talking about? Oh yeah. This stuff is just filled with nothing but meaningless dialogue. It's like they think they're Shakespeare or something, but still, whatever. It's fun stuff. But I just thought it was funny because I was like, dude, did you miss, like, nostalgia plays a big factor into why we love 90s X-Men, I don't know. That's just me. What about you, Bueller? Did you ever read X-Men back in the 90s?
Oh yeah. Well, the beginning of the 90s. Yeah. Most of my stuff is from the 80s when I was into that title. And then,
that's the Claremont stuff, right? And that's just how Claremont writes.
All Claremont stuff.
Yeah. And that's just how he writes.
Yeah.
Like lots of dialogue.
Yeah. But I wasn't reading like so many books back then. So it was doable. I was only reading maybe 10 books at the time. Now I read quite a bit more.
Yeah.
So it was easier to follow along back then.
I think it does it a disservice almost that he's reading it in the omnibus edition.
Yeah.
Because that's just that's really a lot to read all back.
It's really
to back.
heavy to do all that all at once. I mean,
Yeah.
you need that gap. I think X-Men was coming out like every other week for a small period of time in the 80s. I think it was twice a month.
Yeah.
But for the most, I think it was like for a couple of years like that. So that was perfect for that story. And just to have Claremont writing that over and over and over for 20 years, it's never going to be done again.
No, you're right.
And, he's their number one selling creator for Marvel is Chris Claremont. And
Claremont is.
Do they pay him not to?
Jim Lee, I thought too. Yeah.
They pay him not to write.
Like
what? he's an exclusive contracted Marvel writer. He cannot write comic books for another company, right?
Really?
Marvel pays him, and he does like a short story here and there. Like he gets paid by Marvel every year.
Yeah.
Basically, to not write for DC.
Yeah. What that New Mutant one shot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did that, and he does like the occasional like. They just announced that he's doing an extended edition of God Loves Man Kills. How interesting is that? So like they got Brent Anderson back, and they're going to create new scenes and then re-release it as a miniseries. Which to me is one of my favorite X-Men comics ever is God Loves Man Kills. When I met Chris Claremont, the first thing I ever did, I got to do a panel with him. I think you've done a panel with him too, right, Bueller?
Yeah, I hosted this panel.
He's a super cool dude. And he loves to talk, does he not?
Yeah.
Right?
He loves to talk about whatever he wants to talk about.
Yeah, right? He started going off on like politics and like some Trump stuff. And I'm like, we're in Alabama. Like, you might want to. But it's Chris Claremont. I want to tell him to shut up? Hell no.
Yeah.
But the first thing I did was I got him to sign my God Loves Man Kills. And I told him, I was like, I think that this is the greatest X-Men story ever done. And he looks at me and he goes, well, yeah. It was meant to be. He's like, that was the whole point of the book.
Yeah.
And then he did point out that the politician is it's Strider, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah. He pointed out that he looks like Mike Pence, and then like that became a meme, which I thought that was really funny. Anyway.
Yeah. No, he likes to talk, and he's going to talk about whatever he wants to talk about.
Yeah.
But he's a writer. I mean, that's what he does. He's been doing that for years. He's been talking on the pages of the comic books. He's got plenty to say. So
he's got so many stories too, And he's coming back at the to our local con in April. So I'm really excited to see him again.
Nice.
I briefly saw him at Memphis. So
if you get a chance to talk to him, ask him about the time he almost got to see Hugh Jackman's penis.
Okay.
Will do. What that is. He'll appreciate that. Trust me,
dude.
I will. I'll ask him.
I'm waiting for Tinny to add that something is killing the children in the next issue of Batman.
I read that next issue
I was
of Batman.
searching for it in issue 86.
I hope he puts that in there. I think that'd be awesome.
Did you get to read issue 86 yet?
Yeah, I read it.
I remember. Did you like it?
Yeah, it was good. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for him to dig himself out of the King run. Which is, I think he could probably get there within the next 2 or 3 issues, and then kind of get a more clean slate to kind of do what he wants to do. But I'm excited because I like the horror aspect that I think he wants to bring to Batman, and it just kind of goes hand in hand with some of the characters that he can kind of work with. So it should be really good. I don't know if that means. I think that I hate to say it, but I think something that's killing the children is gonna. There might be some time in between when those issues come out with him.
I was gonna say felt like a while since I've gotten since we got that last issue. It feels like
it's been a while. So I mean, he's putting.
As long as the issues are still good, I won't trip if they take like a month and a half to come out. But I don't want them to get crappy. I was gonna say, Robbie was talking about how they're doing an 80th anniversary thing for the Joker. Yo, what's up, Comic Crypt? What's up, Sam? We got Sam in the building. The
Pat Bear.
I wonder or what was that? The Joker War. You said, Robbie, right?
Yeah, Tinian's building up into the Joker War.
That's cool.
Yeah. So is that like a one shot, or is that going to be a mini series or something?
No, so he's doing his first arc right now, right? And then that's going to end in April, and the next arc is leading into the Joker War. And so we got the idea because Joker knows the Bruce Wayne's Batman, right? Like that happened at the end of the King run, right? Because I mean, he already knew that. He knew that in the Snyder run, right? So it's almost kind of so this is the idea that Joker is going to now use this as a piece in his war against Batman. And I saw someone somewhere, I don't remember where, but they said, "Isn't this what Endgame was? The Scott Snyder one?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, kind of." But I think Tynion got brought on to fill a gap because I think DC was set in on this 5G stuff, right? And Tom King's run was going to go to 100. And then they shortened that because sales started dipping, right?
Thank
and then
God.
When they killed Alfred, sales went back up again. And that's why Alfred is dead now. And apparently...
That's why he stayed dead.
Yeah, apparently the initial idea was that Psycho Pirate was there in that entire Tom King run for a reason. And the reason was that he can make people see things that's not really happening, right?
So then Alfred would have never technically died.
Alfred didn't technically die. It was Psycho Pirate.
Yeah.
But DC, because they saw a spike in sales, decided to go ahead and keep Alfred as dead. And then they brought in Tynion. And my understanding is that Tynion's run on Batman is kind of a placeholder. Like he's there to set up Luke Fox as the next Batman for 5G.
The 5G. Oh my God.
And that's why Lucius is a big deal right now in that book.
Who do you think takes over for him?
What?
Who do you think takes over for James?
I don't know yet. I've heard some people mention Brian Michael Bendis, but apparently he actually turned it down. And then some people think David F. Walker, but I don't think that's actually going to happen.
I want Tom Taylor.
Tom Taylor would be a cool Batman writer. He could be. But now DC's kind of getting cold feet about 5G.
I could see David doing that book.
David F. Walker?
Yeah, I know David.
David would totally be perfect for that book.
Yeah,
with Luke as Batman.
I know him. I've known him for a few years. He's a Portland guy.
Yeah,
and I could totally see him doing the new Batman. I
think that would be amazing. I mentioned that like a few months ago when this all first started coming out. I was like, David F. Walker would be amazing for this, you know? And the idea I heard was that they approached Bendis, and Bendis said, "No, what about David?"
Yeah,
because they're tight. They're working on Naomi together.
Yeah.
And David F. Walker is a fantastic writer. I backed his Kickstarter for One Fall, which was like a wrestling comic book he did, and I loved it. I cannot wait until they do it too.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a big move for him. I just know that he has not had the best luck over at Marvel. But over at DC, he's having a little bit better luck with Naomi, for instance. I think he'd be perfect for that book. But I still think we're going to get the Batman thing. But the idea I got was that Tynion was there to be a placeholder. So all they ever wanted was a placeholder. And Tynion's run is allegedly supposed to be 15 issues, right?
Oh,
and so
really?
that's and that could be like 3 story arcs, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. And you can tell. I think you can tell in his first issue that it's not the start of a new definitive run. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the next Batman story is what it feels like. I really think at this point that the placeholder originally was meant to be Batman's grave, right? And that they moved that to be a miniseries because they got rid of King quicker than they thought they would, and they wanted to keep Alfred dead, right? And so I really think that the Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch Batman's grave right now was meant to be the ongoing Batman run. But now it's out of continuity. But I don't know. Yeah, that's just me. That's just me speculating on that. But it seems to line up with some of the information that I've gotten about when Tynion got thrown on and the Alfred death thing. Like Alfred's not dead.
Yeah.
Psycho Pirate's there for a reason, but they want to keep him dead for a while because it sparked interest back up into Tom King's Batman run. And it did. All of a sudden people are reading City of Bane for some reason. And that one book spiked,
We all should have just dropped it. And I think
I wanted
we
to
did
drop
see
it.
Tom King's plan, JB, and it wasn't.
I like it. I like Tom King's Batman run. I really do. I think it could have been told in 50 issues.
Exactly. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool, but it could have been done.
I think he's got a really grown up, intelligent, and grounded take on who Bruce Wayne is and why he is Batman and what that means.
Yeah, I like the Batman and Cat. I like their relationship.
I just don't like the idea that they call each other Bat and Cat.
Yeah.
I hate that so much.
I don't know about how I feel about Lucius Fox being the new Batman. And I don't know if somebody was trolling me.
Luke Fox.
But they said that he was going to be gay.
It's Luke Fox, not Lucius Fox. Lucius Fox is the old guy, right? Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Right. It's his son, Luke.
Right.
Now, Luke
That's what I meant. I just said it wrong.
Okay.
My bad.
Well, Luke is
Thanks
Batwing. Luke is Batwing, and he's a cool, fun character. As far as him being gay, I'm not sure I don't think that's a canon thing right now. But if they did that, I wouldn't care. Just tell me a good, fun Batman story, and that's all I care about,
Same here.
And I didn't mind when Batman was. I didn't mind when Batman was Azrael. I didn't mind when Batman was Dick Grayson. I didn't mind when Batman was Commissioner Gordon. Just tell me a good story, because guess what? Bruce Wayne will be Batman again, because that's just how this stuff works.
Yeah.
James Bond will always be James Bond. Bruce Wayne will always be Batman. And they've always explored outside of that, but they've always gone back to that. So
yeah. So instead of Batwing, Luke will actually become Batman.
Yeah, because I think that they're building up to this idea that I'm pretty sure that they're going to marry Batman and Catwoman this year.
They're doing the Batman Cat and Tom King.
What'd you say, Bueller?
I thought they already got married, or did it not work out?
No, yeah, they did. But I think they're going to actually do that for real this time.
They're just married by word, a bond between them, right?
I think the problem is if they would have made the wedding a big event, right, Bueller? Yeah. Then the story would have made the story itself was fine, right? But it was the big lead-in, like, we're going to have a wedding. Here's the wedding, and you buy the wedding issue, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And nobody else, like most of those people that bought that issue number 50, they didn't read the previous 49 issues of that run. So to them, they felt duped. Yeah. And DC realizes that. And I think the whole point is that I think the end of Tom King's run was supposed to end with the wedding.
Yeah.
That's 100. 50, the false wedding. 100 was going to be the real wedding. They've given him that miniseries that he's doing with Clay Mann. And I think Batman and Catwoman will get married. They're going to go off for a while, and he's going to leave Gotham to Luke after he builds this new vision of Gotham that Tynion's doing in his run right now.
Didn't they offer on issue 50 a buyback after all the crap happened?
Yeah.
And for credit for the free guys or stuff?
Yeah, but we sold out.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah, we sold out like that, dude. Even after it got broke, all the news and all that stuff, everybody still came in there and bought it. People have this idea that if they buy a milestone comic book that they can sell it later and make a fortune, People still bring Death of Superman to me, and I'm like, well, I got to open up the bag and look at the condition, but I'll offer you $10 for it if it's in good condition. Yeah. You're like, what? You're going to take it out of the bag? Like, yeah. It could be a 3.0 in there. You don't know with those bags, man.
That's true.
Seriously. Open it up and the cover's ripped off. That would be
got the Superman bagged, by the way, because I do. Do y'all? Bueller, you got like 30 of them?
I've had. They've come and gone.
Yeah, right.
I wish I had one, but no, I don't have one of those.
I have one that's open. That's like in my junk drawer. The original one I read, But as far as the bag ones, I get them and they go right back out. So
I got the armband right over there. I can see it. It's in the corner over there. I got the armband from. I ate that shit up when I was a kid, Bueller. I really did. Like, oh man, I made my parents. I was like, I made them pick me up from school early so that I could go buy that book.
Yeah. Mine was the Batman Dark Knight, the 4 different colors. Remember that?
The Dark Knight?
Legend of the Dark Knight, yeah, dude. When that hit with the 4 different colors, man, I had to have multiple copies of that book.
Yeah.
So
I still get that stuff in pretty much on a weekly basis at the shop.
yeah, I remember.
Man,
That was
Adventures.
one of those books that people are going to be like, "Oh man, it's going to be worth a ton of money."
Yeah. And you never know. It's randomly Thor: God of Thunder number 3 or 4 or whatever. You know, it's just a random thing.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that was a big one for me, getting a bunch of those. And I think when the McFarlane ASMs were coming out, on the shelf, I was just grabbing them as many of those as I could, type thing.
That turned out to be a good investment.
Yeah, I got rid of them all. I have like a set that's like really rough. It's like my reader copies back from then. All the other ones I sold.
Wow. Perry's got a comment for you, Bueller.
Can you bring me a vest when you? No, I'm not bringing that guy a vest. I don't even want to see that guy. I'm a deadbeat dad when it comes to Perry. I don't want to visit that dude. And he's not my son, by the way.
I want you in my life, bro. I left you on the doorstep for a reason.
There you go.
What do you think of the 5G? What do you guys think of the 5G? Because I know I was listening to what you were talking about on your live stream. I think you were talking about on your live stream. Are you like
an hour on 5G on that live stream? Did I know? God. Yeah.
But are you like initially? Are you happy about it, or are you just like?
I'm always down for a new DC Crisis and a reboot. Like I love it. I think it's super cool. I think it's super fun. So I'm cool with it. If it's a fun, exciting cosmic story, I'm going to be into it. It's one of the reasons why I love DC. With the idea that they're going to do all the legacy characters all at once. And I think they need to learn from what happened with Marvel over, a few years ago. And I think it needs to be a little bit more organic. But I think that the idea right now is that DC's getting a little bit of cold feet on this. But now we know that they've already laid the groundwork for 5G. They mentioned it in Doomsday Clock, right? There's the Snyder Capullo sequel to Metal called Heavy Metal. They're apparently going to be leading it, like mentioning it and leading in, like that book is going to contain the aging of certain characters like Batman and Superman, right? So the Batman's going to be a little bit.
That could be cool.
Superman's going to be a little bit older. Jonathan's going to come back from the future. He's going to be older. He's going to be the new Superman. Luke's going to be the new Batman. But they're going to have a new, like the character in Far Sector right now is meant to be the new Green Lantern, they say, which makes Far Sector a good book to pick up just in case. Captain Cold's son's supposed to be the Flash. What? Who is that? We don't know. I guess we'll find out if they actually do this stuff, because it seems like DC's getting cold feet. But however,
Captain Cold's son.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman 750 comes out next week, right?
Yeah.
And I hear that the Snyder story in that one is one of the first lead-ins into 5G.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Because the idea is that they're making Wonder Woman the first superhero in the DC universe that appears in World War I to tie it in with the movie.
No.
Which seems a little late, but whatever they want to do. And I remember, because John Byrne did this. They were like, well, how was Wonder Woman in the JSA and all? And he did the whole thing with Hippolyta and the time travel story, and he made it make sense. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But they're going ahead with 5G, but I think certain factions in DC are getting nervous about it right now. And 5G is going to make or break Dan, though. He's either going to continue to be what he is, or he's going to get canned after this one. We'll see.
Yeah.
Why reboot again? I just see Bruce said, why reboot? DC has a policy that was established by Julie Schwartz, who was an editor way back in the day. And he basically had this idea that every 10 years, you have a new generation of fans coming in reading your comics. So every 10 years, you got to do something to freshen it up. As much as people hate the reboots and they hate the new number ones, as my experience as a retailer and as a comic book fan, number ones excite me. Because I'm like, I can jump in now and read what's going on. It's intimidating sometimes. I think Bueller and them mentioned this in a recent video where if people all the time are like, well, I don't want to read this book because it's on issue 53. And I'm like, well, imagine if it's 853.
Exactly.
It's hard for some people to want to get into that. They feel like they're missing out. So I don't mind all that stuff. But Julie Schwartz had this idea that every 10 years, you basically do a reboot of your universe in some form or another. And DC has consistently done that since Crisis. And even before, they retconned all the time. And then even from Crisis to 0 Hour to Infinite Crisis to Final Crisis to Flashpoint to Rebirth to 5G. And it's something DC does. And they got a long history. And I get why they do it.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with reboots, just as long as it's a good story. I mean,
Same.
if they wanted to reboot every 18 months, as long as it's good and makes sense, then I'm all for it. Because I understand, like you said, I think I was mentioning like Detective Comics is on issue 1018. If somebody wants to jump on that, where do I start? It's intimidating when you see that number. But if you see a number one or within, the first a dozen books or whatnot, you're more comfortable jumping on that book and getting familiar with it. Like Thor just came out with number one. I jumped on that book because now I want to start reading Thor. I wasn't reading the last one or the ones before that, but this one I wanted to get on. So I get it why they do it. For one, they sell more copies of number one than anything. So that makes sense. But really, as long as the story is good, as long as it's intriguing, I have no problem with them rebooting books and starting over.
I agree. That's all I want is just a good story by the end of the day. And sometimes, it's better, I guess, because they can, like, you guys were saying, it's better jumping on point for some of these people who are like intimidated as hell to jump into an issue 20 or 900 or something, because holy shit, you think I can pick up 989 issues or something? But yeah, man, I completely agree.
That's why I like independent titles. Independent titles so much. You don't need to have that history with them because they're for the most part they're brand new. Issue one is issue one. That's where the story starts. You don't need to go and read anything else to know what's going on. You just pick up that book and you start going from there. And I've found myself this past year really enjoying that aspect of independent titles where I don't have to do this research. I don't have to figure out what's going on. It starts on page one of issue one and you're good to go.
Yep. Oh, before I forget, 1-2 Comic Talk, they said they wanted to send you a shirt, Bueller. So message them maybe on IG, give them your shirt size.
Sure thing. Just if they're still there, just send me a message on Instagram. I'll get back to them. Thank you, by the way. I always need new shirts. My mom usually gives me shirts, so I want a dude giving me a shirt.
What is up, you gang? Me and my 12-year-old son tuning in. He says his name's Devin, aka D-Man, aka D-Dog, aka Devin James. Yo, thanks for hanging out, Hunter. I appreciate it. Man, I'm surprised, but you said you were sticking for a few minutes. Bob must be running hella late on you tonight.
He just messaged me a little bit ago. He said he was having dinner, and then as soon as he's done, he's on his way over. He's not feeling very well, so he's kind of half strength right now. So,
well, I hope he feels better.
Yeah, I think he's got some back problems or whatnot. He's old. What are you gonna do? He's not watching this. No, he's not.
What if that's why he's late? He's at home watching this right now.
That might be it. Oh well. Hey, Bob, you're a handsome man. You look great.
The rebirth was 5 years ago. Makes no sense to reboot already.
Well, we know how confusing continuity gets in just 18 months, right? Much less 5 years. And I think the big thing right now is that Rebirth, Doomsday Clock ran late, so it wasn't a clean like they wanted it to be. And I don't know, it's just this whatever, they're going to do it. I mean, it's not up to us, I guess, is it? Ultimately, it's up to us whether we buy it or not, whether we support it, what we say about it. So
Or always asking what Robbie's vaping.
It's always Bombi's Nano Cream.
I was gonna say it's always the same, isn't it?
Yep, I'm boring like that.
Oh, hey, you find what you like, man. Who the hell wants to pay money on something you ain't gonna enjoy token on?
I try other things too.
Yeah.
Perry says I'm smoking that loud. I don't know how he can tell that, but good spot.
Well, I when you were doing the, I had my suspicions allegedly.
Oh man, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, allegedly. That's why we always say that's like the running joke of when they say the garage. That's what we be clowning about.
Well, Bueller's the one in fucking Oregon where it's legal.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think we were talking about marijuana.
It's very legal here, but that doesn't mean I participate in it.
Nobody said
I have very sensitive lungs. Very sensitive.
Oh man.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Robbie's smoking that FF number 5. That would be the most boss move, right? To roll a joint with a page from FF number 5.
Oh my god, that would be like crazy.
It probably tastes like shit, dude. It'd be so mildewy and
I had a page of AF-15 for a short period of time, and you could have rolled that up. That would have been great.
You had a page?
Yeah, it was just a page. I actually
get the rest of it.
Yeah, it was my buddies, and I wanted to make a video about this a long time ago, so I bought it from him. And for like a nickel, and then I told him I'd sell it back to him for a nickel after I did the video, because I wanted to be able to tell people at least I did buy it. I didn't want to lie and say it was someone else's. So for a short period of time, I bought a page of AF-15 for a nickel, and then the next week I sold it back to the same guy for a nickel. So
nice.
Is a nickel.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He understood what I was trying to do, so that's the only way I could get away with it. So. It was graded. It was CGC'd and everything. It didn't have a grade, but it was slabbed.
Wow, what the heck?
That's
crazy. I didn't know you could slab a page.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Slab anything, apparently.
Yeah, they're slabbing video games now, too.
What's the
You heard of that? Like old school video games
that you can't play.
Yeah.
The point of that.
I don't
Dude, I got
know.
My buddy, he's my best friend. He's been my best friend since the 3rd grade. He's spoiled rotten. He's always been spoiled rotten, okay? We're at his mom's house, and we're going through some of his old stuff. This is just like a year ago. And there's a cabinet filled of old NES games, all right? And he has an original Metal Gear Solid still in the shrink wrap, never opened.
What?
NES Metal Gear Solid. I was like, are you kidding me, man? I looked it up. It was like $900.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He was like, oh, yeah, I got 2 copies. I just left one there.
That was a good game, though, man.
Yeah.
I love Metal Gear Solid. Hey, did you hear? We read this, Robbie?
David is right.
David only speaks the truth. That is the best. My sale.
All this weed talk. Well, what do we do? We're having a nice fun
Perry comes in here and he just starts filling the chat with it. I was doing a stream on Trinities. Remember I told you how Professor Bill, I was doing a stream with him before last week.
Going, by the way?
It probably, man. I said what's up to him earlier, but he what was it? On Trinities, the one early before Second Street Marvel, remember I told you I was running Professor Bill's, and then I was running Trinities because his Wi-Fi went out. And then Perry's got me starts talking about weed, and I'm all nervous, running his channel by myself, trying to figure out stuff to talk about. And then I'm like, he's gonna kill me. He's never gonna want me on the channel again. I'm sitting here talking about weed with Perry. It was like weed, and then because Trinity was coming in the chat, and he's like, no, let's talk. He's like, what do you think about this? And Perry's like, yeah, he's just trying to get Dylan off the weed topic real quickly. It was hilarious though. Hey, my brother got a shout out. Man, rolling Kirby's.
I like that, Brett. Rolling Kirby's.
Rolling
Rolling papers.
Let's
Dude,
see.
how cool would that be? It would be like Kirby art on like a rolling paper. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Who doesn't want to smoke a Kirby doob?
Dude, that would be awesome. Yeah,
Only where it's legal. Because it's not legal in Alabama, obviously.
I couldn't do it.
Professor's still going strong.
Yeah,
He had to make up for last week for just bouncing on him and never coming back. Cause he thought when your computer shuts down, he's like, oh, I thought the stream just shut down. He's like, I had no idea you were on there by yourself. I was like, he's like, well, thanks for holding it down. I was like, yeah, I could have just taken over the whole night if I wanted. Then I was like, well, luckily I had my own stream I had to go attend to.
I
He's
had,
like,
I
thanks for
had
holding it down.
Bob did it like his first live stream on his channel last week.
Yeah.
And he goes, bye everybody, and then he left it on.
Yeah.
And I had the message and I go, dude, you gotta go in there, upper right hand corner in stream. He's like, what? I go, it's still going. It's just a blank screen.
He just left the studio.
Yeah. And
Didn't end the broadcast.
I didn't realize that. So it was like 5 minutes of just darkness. And the thing is, he left my little caption up there on the thing, like on my little comment. So it's just a dark screen with my comment on there for like 5 minutes of the video at the very end.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
It's like, what are you doing? Go to the upper right corner. Oh my god, yeah. He always does, Joe. Professor goes on to digressions and can talk for hours. Yeah, I know.
Robbie, I got to get you some of those Max Pro supplies, man. I'm gonna hook you up for your comic shop.
Okay.
All right.
What are the bags and boards, right?
Yeah, bags and boards and a bunch of other supplies. I want you guys to. You guys do BCW? I take it.
We have BCW and we use Southern Hobby, and they just package them up on their own. But we do have the BCW stuff as well.
Okay. I'm gonna get you in contact with the Max Pro Supply guys, and they're gonna get you a better deal.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay, I believe you. Let's see. Let's see it happen.
There you go.
I like the idea that they have the red and the blue title dividers. I think that's cool.
Oh yeah, let me grab some there. Here. They just gave me a bunch.
I know. I've seen. So you could send your boy some. He's like, I don't have any to send you after I give them all to Sam.
And then really. Then they have their logo on the bottom of them there. So.
Are those are folders? Those are cool.
No, they're just dividers.
Dividers. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said folders.
The nice thing is they have the little tab on where you can write the title.
Yeah.
So it works out pretty well.
And they fit in long boxes, obviously, I'm sure.
Yeah. But we were talking. I met with them yesterday, and we're talking about some new products that they want to bring to the market. And they were like, they asked me, do you have any ideas for new products? And so I was like, pitching them. I didn't know they were going to ask me that, so I just kind of was thinking of some stuff. And I've always told them, I've said this before, and I don't think it'll work because the ink will rub off. But I was like, I would like to have different color backing boards, like red or blue, for like Marvel or red. But I was like, the ink will probably rub off on the back of the book. But then he's like, we could make plastic backing boards like this for a very comparable price. And so that's something they're going to look into, to where I think that'd be pretty cool because they would never fade in color or nothing.
Yeah.
That'd
be really cool.
So different color backing boards, but plastic type. So
have you seen those BCW stackable plastic boxes or whatever, right? Have you seen those, the bins, the comic book bins?
Yes.
Something like that has a drawer. How cool would that be?
That'd be sick.
Right.
I'll let you know next month because I can't say more than that.
Yeah, Hunter, I could give your daughter a shout out, but if I say her first name wrong, she can't get mad. Give Adeline Honey Rose a shout out, brother. But yeah, so those bags and boards, those are pretty cool though. So you like them? I mean,
I like their bag. They have these Max Light bags, but they've been literally out of stock for like 4 months.
Yeah.
We're having some issues with the manufacturing in China. They're
Yeah.
being manufactured in China and shipped over. They've now purchased their own equipment, and it's going to be manufactured in Canada, which is right up from us. You know, it's less than a couple hundred miles away from where they're located. So as soon as they get all that set up, then they won't have any more problems getting that product in because they can just have it made anytime they want. So it was mainly because of the trade thing going on between the U.S. and China, why it was causing a problem. So they just said, bag it. We're just going to move it over to Canada and get it done over there. So, but the Max bags are really cool. They're like the Mylites, but they're a third of the price and really almost just as good.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I don't know what kind my shop gets. I don't know. Probably the cheap ones. They got I didn't really care for the ones that you got to tape, but I got the ones that are resealable recently, and those are pretty cool, but they're a little tight. They're like, you almost gotta like the book almost like, sometimes I almost get scared I'm about to bend my book trying to push it in. But I'm gonna hear a comment like, that's what she said from Perry when I'm talking about pushing it in. Vagina sniffing backwards. Perry's like probably disappointed that he missed the candle talk earlier.
Oh man. The art paint on the cabinets, that'd be kind of cool. I think that there's a lot of those boxes that have the artwork on them, you know, and it's all about licensing to get those on there. And a lot of these independent people that are manufacturing these boxes just can't afford to get the license anymore. There was the guy, it was called Boxes in Action. He was manufacturing a bunch of the boxes that had all the artwork on them. And now that guy is running for office, like in the state of Texas, so he doesn't make them anymore. So,
yeah, I hear about the Mylites. I'll have to check out some of those bags. If you don't ever give Sam all your bags, you could just send some my way.
I can do that when they get them back in. He's like, because I met with them yesterday, and they're like, we're going to get them in probably within the next couple of weeks, but it's a small shipment to get us through till we get our large one. He's like, but whatever you need, just let us know. I said, I don't want any of them because I want you to send them out. You know, people have been waiting for them. I'm good.
Right. So, I stocked Sam all up.
Yeah.
So Mylites, that's the Mylars, right?
They're called Max Lights.
Okay.
And that's their product that they have. And they're kind of like Mylites or Mylars.
Yeah.
They're just a little bit different, but they're called Max Lights.
Okay. Yeah, because I just kind of got hip to the Mylars recently. I was like, what's everyone talking about with the Mylar? Because my shop, bro, it's just whatever the hell bag and board there is. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have that opportunity or that. I don't get the taste or whatever. It's like whatever the hell he has. It could be, I don't even know it.
Yeah.
It might be like Comic Book Pro or something. I don't know. Probably just some random ass company. I'm sure it's the cheapest thing my dude can get so that he can make a couple extra bucks or whatever is maybe in the middle. I don't know if he goes for the cheapest, but they're not bad. The other ones, though, I don't really like. The ones with the tape, those ones I didn't really care for. They were better sizing when they came to like fitting in. But yeah, the resealable ones were tight.
Yeah. And the Max Lights, they're the same price for the most part of regular bags, like $5 or $6 for a pack of 100, and they're beautiful.
Hell yeah! I think I paid like, I don't know, it was like $8 or something for the resealable, but this is like, that's like one of the resealable ones.
Mm.
But this one, this one's not my bag, so no, I probably don't have a bag from that. But I think this might be a regular one. But this wasn't sent. This wasn't one of my bags, so I don't know. It's like you could tell the difference. So it's like a lot bigger. This one is at least. But actually, I think I like this better. It just depends. Sometimes it might just be the bag. Sometimes I feel like the top part bends a little bit when I push it in. But I told you that joke was coming. I told you the joke was coming.
I'm sorry. What you just said was a funny line.
Which one? I know, because I had probably like 3.
You said the top part bends when you push it in. It's like, I'm sorry, I just lost it.
No, you're good. I'm like talking every time I said it, I said like 2 different ones, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Because usually you're just killing somebody when they say something like that.
I gotta be nice.
Oh man, never on my channel, bro. You know I love, dude. I could take a joke, and I love your comedy.
I know Robbie's very sensitive, so I don't want to say anything.
You know it.
Oh man, what Ultra Pro has been like. Maybe that's what I get. Our Ultra Pro. I think that's what it is, honestly.
Ultra Pro, yeah, those are the ones we use for the most part. But we have the BCW ones. That's what I use. I don't care.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I thought I threw the bag away.
Yeah, that's what we use. Ultra Pro. That's what we got.
But this
Ultra
is the current, and I just have a couple of these left. They're not bad.
I don't mind those.
Nah,
I hate the resealable ones though. I hate the resealable ones.
That's what I got. I see. I don't think I like that they reseal, because I just got some painter's tape. Because the other tape always fucking, when you try to open it again, it always, my bags get ruined because it just rips.
What kind of tape you using, man? You got to use just like name brand Scotch tape is what you got to use.
That's what I was using.
You're using the wrong kind of tape, I'm telling you.
Use Dollar Tree tape.
No, use the green one, man.
The green one?
Yeah, use the green one.
You know, I have like, I probably, because I switch up, so sometimes the tape.
Yeah, use the green one.
I think I got a green one, and then I got a purple one. What the hell is the difference from green and purple?
The green ones you can take off a lot easier. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
But everyone always goes crazy. Like, you got to use painter's tape.
And you got to use Dollar Tree store brand tape.
Oh, no. That's the worst. The bag trying to open it up. Trust me, I know. But the one thing about the Ultra Pro bags have been that the current ones have been very tight sometimes. Like, we'll have a whole case of them that will be way too tight. So that is something.
For the resealables?
No, just for the regular ones.
Oh, for the regular. Yeah. See, sometimes I would get that too, but I don't know. With the resealables, they're even tighter.
I hate resealables, man. I have more incidents with those.
I don't want to mess with
a comic book from the
Oh, dude, I almost like when I was taking it out, I was like so pissed. It was X-Men 4, and I got the cover stuck to the tape, and I was like, oh my god. On live stream, I almost probably ripped the cover up, but thankfully it didn't really do any damage. Yeah.
Use the green Scotch tape, 2 pieces vertically, about 1 inch across.
Yeah.
That's what I do. It's easy to get up. That motion right there. I mean, what do you do? You're using painter's tape, man.
This is the only book I have painter's tape, because I just got, my buddy gave me a roll for free. Any other one of my bags, they all have regular tape, unless like they're the last like 50 books, because I got a bag of the resealable ones. Just because I'm getting sick of all this tape. Now I gotta spend my extra money on tape. I guess you lose no matter what, because you pay extra for the resealable, or you're paying extra to buy all the extra tape.
Yeah, it's a rough life we live.
I tell you what, we should all just start being bold and nobody bag and board comics anymore.
That's what I'm doing. I gave up. I said, forget it.
Or just bag and board the only one, or like bag and board, you're like, you're just
put a board in the middle. Just put a board right in the middle of the book. That's good.
I do that, man. I hate it. People coming to bring their books in to sell, and I'm like, oh, why did you do that? And they'll put the board right in the middle of the book. You did it wrong. Now, nobody bag and board comics. Everybody read comic books as if they're TV guides, right? Like everybody did back in the day. That would help the secondary market if everybody did that, right?
It bends when you push it in.
Yeah, and when you're done reading it, like beat it up and then turn it into for war bonds. And everybody should
bag and board your books like for your poll members or anything, because I see some people their new books will be bagged and boarded sometimes, even on the shelf.
Hell no. We want people to flip through it. Flipping through a comic book is one of the most enticing things to get people to read it, I find. But yeah, no, we don't do that. No, that's too much time. Plus, everybody's very particular about how you bag and board your specific comics, right? So
yeah, true that.
People have us build the boxes for them though, and there's always a piece of me that be like you really don't think you can build this box? It's very easy.
I did a video. I don't know if you saw it. It's a long time ago. I called it the Short Box Challenge, where I had both my kids try to put together a box, and it was a race, and it was between my daughter and my son. My daughter, she got it done, and they've never built a box before, as far a comic box, obviously.
Yeah,
literally, my daughter had it done, the lid and everything done. And my son didn't even have the box even close to looking like what it should. It was a lot of fun.
That's hilarious. I watch my own employees struggle to build a comic book long or short box. Like struggle with it. Like I don't know what it's so. But then those card boxes that are like the 5-row card boxes. Yeah. I can't fucking do one of those at all.
Oh, those are easy.
See, maybe, but not to me. I can do a comic book box though in my sleep, man.
Yeah.
I would just love to see, that's just so funny, picturing someone struggling to do the comic box.
It happens all the time.
Get a video of that. Stick 2 fingers in and thread. Make the noise and you're good.
Yep.
Got it, Robbie.
Right there.
I had a video series when I first started called Comics with People Who Hate Comics. And I had this, my nephew was my guest on there, and he was his name was Jeff, and he doesn't like comics. He has no interest in them. And I literally would just make him do dumb things and or not do anything at all, just sit there and look miserable. But one of the episodes, I was like, okay, I want you to put together a long box and a short box. And he's never done it before. And he's sitting there, and while I'm showing books, he's trying to figure out how to put together a box. Takes him the whole episode to do it, okay? And it's pretty funny watching it. His mother calls him the next day, my sister. She's like, "Are you an idiot? It's just a box." And she literally gave him a hard time. She goes, "Have you ever built a file box before?" He's like, "Yeah." She goes, "Those are the same thing." And I just thought it was funny that his mom called him up and just basically went off on him for not knowing how to put together a box.
That's hilarious.
Oh my. Yeah, see some. I guess Perry gets his pre-bagged and boarded.
Oh man, I'd hate that. I'm like, who's thumbing up my books?
I'd be okay with it as long as my books are not messed up. But there's no way mine would ever. No way, because my guy can barely get the books ready for me when I go in Saturday or Tuesday night. I gotta go in sometimes right before he closes.
Well, that's one of my favorite things, man. It's the routine, it's the ritual to bag and board your books. You know what I'm saying? Every person's got to bag and board their own books. I think that's a connection you got to have with comics if you're going to be a part of the hobby.
I'm just so because he was out for 2 months, and then I got so behind. So that's the only time I kind of hate doing bag and board, when I have a couple months worth of books.
But Dylan, you gotta have that personal connection with your books, otherwise they're meaningless.
No, I do like it, and then I like to file all my stuff, honestly, and put it all, get it all in my boxes. Because I usually would do it I usually come home, get my books, and then I bag and board them, and then I start reading them. You know what I mean?
I'm that guy that bags and boards them at the shop, though. I am that guy. I'll be like, yo, I mean, I work there now, but even before, when I was just a customer, I'd be like, yo, you got any tape? Can I get some tape from you? And yeah, sure. Cool. Thanks. Yeah. I bag and board them before I leave.
Dude, that's fun. Well, they're not bagged and board when you do your videos.
No, they're not. Yeah, not when I do the weekly comic book review. I just take home a big chunk. Yeah. But then when I take them back.
I was wondering that. We were talking about that, and I was like, he buys a shit ton of his books, but I don't know if he buys every single one.
Oh, hell no.
How many do you think you buy? Half of them?
No.
He doesn't need to.
Right. Hey, well, I get it. I wouldn't either.
I probably buy like a third of them.
Yeah.
Fighting. Yeah.
Yo,
A lot of it's my job to read these books and sell them if they're worth it. So.
Well, that I was thinking too. I was like, well, how does he do it? But you're able to bring them back by the morning, and then they get sold.
Yeah,
you know,
like I read them on the toilet or nothing, right?
Right.
Yeah, you do.
Most of the time, you probably read them in the store most of the time, and then you just take the few home. Take them home.
That's bad. You don't read.
Oh, you don't read at work?
I don't let my employees read at work. Why would I read at work?
No, I thought like sometimes you get started at work after you're done working or after you're done filing and stuff.
No, I actually work when I'm at work.
So what time do you get? So you start when you get off work?
Yeah, I come
actually work when I'm at work.
Reading. I don't like to be distracted either. I got my own little my thing, you know. So
yeah.
I sit down, I read my books. It's a thing.
You know, I thought that's why you are able to get them out by like a little bit after midnight, because you get kind of more of a head start on reading than most people.
I would say I usually start reading at about 3 to 4 o'clock my time.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. See, that's a lot. Yeah. See, I don't start reading until like 7 my time. So.
Yeah. And as David points out, I do make sure that when I'm eating Cheetos and I read the comics, that I take them back and put them in his box at the end. So the one time I was reading an old, because I got Fantastic Four comics from when I was a kid, and I was reading one time, and there was a big Robbie, like 13-year-old Cheeto thumbprint in the comic, and I was like, oh, memories.
Oh my God. Memories. Hunger. Good to have you, brother.
Nobody going to act like they've never got a Cheeto thumbprint in their comic book before.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if my hands are a little wet, it was just a little sweaty nowadays, but I'll leave a couple thumbprints just in the Marvel Comics books. Not intentionally, but just because the freaking crappy paper they're using or ink. You know what I'm talking about, Bueller.
Yeah, they definitely do. Hey, I was going to tell
Bruce, you just washed your hands. You better make sure they're completely dry. Yep.
Bruce asked me how many long boxes I have now. I don't have any long boxes now because I'm old, and I can't lift up long boxes. So I have short boxes, and I think I have about 25 of them.
I always get scared that they would just you get one of those long boxes, and if it's completely filled, I always hear it's just hard. Like you'll freaking ruin your back trying to lift it up, but they would just it would just crumble down it under. You know,
they suck to move, man. Shorts are
shorts suck to move too, but it's a lot better than a long box, because I was gonna get long boxes, and then my guy at the shop's like, those aren't good long term. And I was like, well, thanks for telling me.
At one point, man, I was throwing those long boxes around like they were nothing, but that was when I was your age, Dylan.
Yeah.
Now I make a noise when I try to get up.
I'm glad I don't got them, because I wouldn't have been able to fit them in my room, honestly. They're just way too fucking long. But that's what she said.
Yeah, you're talking about those comics now and how they are easy to get messed up, man. In the summer here in Alabama, when it gets super
heat,
man, it's impossible. It's impossible. They all they start crinkling and all that stuff. It's they really suck. It's their covers that really suck right now, man.
Yeah. I know. I think it was Bueller, wasn't it you? Was it you that I said out? Because we were talking about old school books, and I was like, wow. I was like, those books still look awesome. And it's been 20, 30, maybe 40 years for some. The books nowadays won't even last 5 or 10, a couple years. They're going to, like you said, they get all crinkled up or whatever on a hot summer day. It's 10 years, they're going to look like garbage. Just shows, man.
Yeah, some of them age better than others, as far as the books. But there were some pretty poor quality books in the 90s as well, as far as the inner paper go.
Yeah.
It was almost like tissue paper it was newsprint. It was newsprint paper is what it was. And that fades pretty bad. I don't think you'll see the fading now on the pages, because for the most part the pages are from head to toe. It's all inked as far as the paper goes, to where before it was like border with a white border around it, and now you don't see that as much.
Yeah. Southern Comic Geek got a question. What is your favorite series that you all are reading right now?
Well, Robbie loves the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles / Power Rangers / My Little Ponies / Care Bears book that's out right now.
Yeah, I do love the Power. That was a good one. You know, personally, I like Wasted Space, Gideon Falls, The Plot, Red Mother. 2 issues in has been one of my favorites. Something is Killing the Children's a great one. Yeah, those are some of my favorites. I would definitely be like Gideon Falls, The Plot, and Wasted Space are pretty much like my holy trinity of ongoing comics right now.
It's funny, you Southern Comic Geek said he's actually earlier today, he said he's gonna send me Gideon Falls, the first trade in the mail so I could read it, because I haven't read that or Oblivion Song. I only read the first trade of Ice Cream Man, but I want to read that one too. Those are like the top 3 Image ones that I really want to read. Especially you know, Oblivion and Gideon. But I do want to read Ice Cream Man, because I read the first issue, like getting an Image first, and I love, like, you know, the Wolfman thing. That was so cool, because I'm a huge like werewolf guy.
Hey, Robbie, by chance, did you read the director's cut of Gideon Falls #1?
No.
Okay. Somebody just sent me the first 3 issues, and the first issue says director's cut of Gideon Falls. So I didn't know if there's a big difference.
That might be somewhat new. I think maybe that was recently released. I'm not sure.
Have you flipped through it?
No, I don't. I've never read the first one, so I wouldn't even know what the difference is between the original one and the director's cut. So.
Usually they'll have like a script in it, or maybe like the black artwork or something.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I guess though, one of my favorites, Southern Comic Geeks, probably definitely Venom. I would say the new Thor, but I want to get the whole arc, but that's definitely gonna be one of my favorites. Something's Killing the Children, Middle West, Dead Eyes, and Detective Comics. I like Shazam too. I'd say Shazam and Detective are my 2 favorite DC books. Shazam is really fun.
I like Flash at DC too. Flash.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I love Flash. I've been loving the Rogue's Reign story.
I love Justice League at DC right now. I know Snyder's about to end his run, but I've loved every bit of that.
That one's a little denser sometimes for me, and I don't know. I guess because I never read Dark Knight's Metal.
Oh,
so I feel like that's a big reason why it doesn't hit 100% with me.
Metal to No Justice to the Justice League stuff. Yeah. I love it.
See, I still need to read Dark Knight's Metal. Like, I'm lacking like crazy. But I've read Batman Who Laughs and all that stuff, but I should have read Dark Knight's Metal. Forget what I was gonna say. Did you like Daphne and Byrne?
Yeah, I thought the first issue was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
I know you said you like Lolo Woods too, but I didn't like it.
I love it.
I might have to read it again.
I love it.
Hey, is Gideon Falls in black and white?
No.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Well, this is the director's cut right here.
Yeah, that's black and white. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's the difference then.
I thought I saw something recently too in the solicits showing a director's cut of that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Dave Stewart's actually the colorist of that. And Dave Stewart's colors on that are amazing.
Well, apparently he had the night off on this one.
They didn't want to pay him again for the reprint, I guess.
You do me. You do you, I do me. The ink and paper nowadays is horrible. I miss the smell of the old books.
If you like a good smelling comic book, get a Vault comic book. Best smelling comic books on the market. Then Aftershock is number 2. They smell so good. I'm serious.
Yeah, that's because they're making their books right, and that's what I like to hear, man.
Did you see it? I think a couple episodes ago on the coffee one, I did one on Are Comics Too Expensive? Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
There was an article, I think it was in Newsarama, that the main guy from Image Comics actually addresses that question, and he flat out says that comics are too expensive, the cover price.
You talking about Eric Stevenson?
Yes, Eric Stevenson, yes. And he's like, yes, they are too expensive. There's no reason they should be $3.99 or $4.99. And I thought
that there were too many.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that Image was intentionally going to limit their line because of it.
Yeah. It's a great article. I think it was, did you read it? It was on Newsarama or something like that.
I read some of it, but I didn't read where he was saying they were too expensive.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome that was in there. And
why does Image Comics still put out $3.99 books then?
I don't know. Well, Spawn isn't.
Yeah, it's the only one.
Everyone should have a Spawn on their pull list. Let's show some love to McFarlane for keeping this book at $2.99.
I just wish more. Maybe if everyone went to if every other book was $2.99, maybe McFarlane would go down to $1.99.
One thing that Image does do though is that they'll release like extra-sized issues, like especially first issues for $3.99, and they don't do what Marvel does and have like a first issue and it's $5.99, $7.99. You know, I do think Image is better at that. They give you a lot of content sometimes. For like Little Bird, every single issue was $3.99. They were all well over 20 pages.
Yeah, Olympia had a lot more to it and stuff, you know, and that was $3.99. And the last issue of The Walking Dead was like 80 pages. That was $3.99.
Yep. Cool.
See, I think Image they'll give, besides with Marvel, you know, there's that strict cutoff. And if they go over their page count, they're like, oh no, it's $5 now, or 6, 7, 8. But with Image, I think there's more wiggle room because they want to get that good story out, you know?
Yeah.
And they're not gonna screw us because
Image, you know, relies more on just the single issue sales as well. Like Image sells a lot of trade paperbacks and a lot of digital sales, so it all comes together. And
that's why the Image has the most sales for trades last year is what it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. They should.
Yeah.
And what's crazy though is that even Image, Marvel, DC, all the others, they get their asses kicked every year by all ages graphic novels.
Yeah.
It's like Dog Man that sell comics used to sell back in the golden age. You know, they sell millions of copies, literally. Like we're bragging when a comic book hits 100K nowadays, you know, and these things are selling like crazy. And at my shop, they sell like not so fast.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's easier too, because you were talking about and this is a manga thing, right? But like graphic novels being $9.99 and having a series of graphic novels, but that's been something that the community doesn't really want to support, it seems, whenever they try to do graphic novel releases only. This industry has never supported the graphic novel, like hardly ever. Like even when they were trying to do it back in Marvel's days, when they were doing like New Mutants and stuff like that. But it's a very rare thing for the community to get behind a graphic novel that's not like single issues, you know. But I think that's a more viable way as far as cost. But I don't know. I don't think we're going to see it anytime soon. Really.
I think sometimes the graphic novels read better as well too than just like single issues, you know.
Well, a lot of people read their comics that way, though. You know,
Robbie, you remember when Arkham Asylum came out, dude? I was all over that book.
But that's like the rare exception, you know. It's the rare exception, and it's Grant Morrison. He's got chaos magic on his side. But I love Arkham Asylum. I think the graphic novel is a great thing, and there are exceptions to that rule. But it just seems like, could you imagine, Bueller, like for instance, anytime in the next 5 years, people being okay with no more single issue Batman stories, but just graphic novels coming out?
Yeah,
no way.
Wouldn't fly.
I wouldn't really like it. You know, I like collecting the single issues and all that, but I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I like collecting the single issues too, but I do want to get some some trades here and there if I can ever save up some money.
Wait.
But
Then again, imagine going to your comic shop and instead of wanting to pick up $23.99, $4.99 comics, you want to pick up 15, $14.99 graphic novels. So
yeah,
then you're going to get into cost issues that way too. So
no, yeah.
Do
Well,
you
that's the
remember
thing.
the Batman graphic novel that came out was all computer generated?
digital
Really?
justice.
Yes, that one. What a pile of dog shit that was.
I was all sold on it though. I was like, oh, this is going to be so cool. No.
I still have my copy from the 90s.
That's
It's
awesome.
one of the books that I still hold on to.
I'm sure I got mine somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun stuff.
That's crazy. The yeah, I think sometimes though you pay like so much more at you pay cover price at your comic shops for trades. I don't really like buying trades from comic shops unless they got discounts going, because most of the time you can just go on Amazon and get that book literally half off.
Yeah.
Like if you check Amazon, they'll say it says $30 on the cover or something. It's probably $15, $10, $12 on Amazon.
Yeah, and you get in stock trades and all that stuff too. So
Yeah.
we
I've never got. Do you own omnibuses, Robbie? I've never bought any.
No.
I just got a few
I'm not
trades.
really a big omnibus guy. I think they're really cool. I think they're a little difficult to read.
Yeah.
I like reading sitting on the couch with the book in my lap and an omnibus. Man, I've got a Doctor Strange omnibus. I've got a Silver Age Green Lantern omnibus, and I got the first Sandman Absolute, like the giant one. And I was all like gung ho for that, and I got it, and I was really happy. And I tried to read it, and man, my arm got tired after like 2 issues, and I was like, no, I got to get a pulpit to read this book. I don't I don't want to do that. Like I think Jim reads off his books at a desk, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like those aren't books that are comfortable to just kick back and relax. You know.
I think he does at the desk. He does his videos at, honestly.
Yeah, probably. And I mean, that works for that, but that's not how I read right now. But I think they're cool and they can maintain value sometimes. And that's neat. And it's also cool to be able to get something and be like, I've got 3 volumes that collects, 150 issues of something. That's pretty cool. So,
yeah, that is cool.
But they're very cumbersome to me, I think.
Pope wanted to know, how do we rank the Hill House books? I'm pretty sure he's asking us.
I would go Dollhouse Family, Basketful of Heads, Lolo Woods, Daphne Byrne.
I'd go Basketful of Heads first, Dollhouse Family, Daphne Byrne, and then Lolo Woods.
I haven't read any of them yet.
But I like Sea Dogs too, so I'd probably put Sea Dogs. It would probably be Basketful of Heads, Dollhouse Family, Sea Dogs, then Daphne Byrne, and then Lolo Woods.
See, I only read the first chapter of Sea Dogs because I was like, I'm not going to remember this. I'm not going to remember this backup story. And then we got Plunge coming out. I'm really pumped for that one. So,
Lolo
yeah. Plunge. Is that the last one that's coming out?
The last one solicited so far, yeah.
Okay.
That's the one Bill's writing, that one with Stuart Amonin on the artwork.
That looks awesome. What, dude, Dave Stewart, you said?
No, Stuart Amonin is doing the artwork on that one.
Because Dave Stewart, he does the colors on the inks on Basketful of Heads. Man, that variant. I said I said colors, and then I switched it to inks, I think.
Yeah, Dave Stewart's the colors.
Dude, I always get that confused. Like, sometimes they'll show like colors and then they like inks. What the hell do you know? Like what? I know pencils.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So back in the day,
it's a tracer.
Back in the day, you have your penciler, right? And they do the line art, and sometimes you would be amazed at how loose some of those pencils would be. And then you would have an inker that would come in and they would get the reputation of being a tracer, but they would actually add shade, depth, and dimension to the artwork. And then you have your colorist, and the coloring back in the day was really simple. Nowadays, in order to keep up with some of the speediness of what's necessary, because the comic book art has gotten more sophisticated, right? Like we expect a whole higher level of quality than what used to be acceptable, I think, from a lot of stuff. So in order to streamline that process, the inking game is pretty much gone now. Like you rarely get inkers anymore. Jim Lee still gets inked. A lot of the old school guys still get inked, but like nowadays it usually goes directly from digital pencils to the colorist. But the colorists today are doing what the inkers used to do. They're adding that depth. They're adding that dimension. They're adding the shading. They're adding those layers. And because they used to just color them, it was 4-color comics, you know? But now with the digital art that's being told, like Dave Stewart's an amazing colorist, and he's old school too, because he colored the majority of the Hellboy stuff. And he's just amazing. But you look at the colorists today, and they're adding texture. They're adding shading and depth and dimension and detail. So the colorists have really stepped up, but we've kind of lost the art of inking, I think. What do you think, Bueller? Because I know you're familiar with those days.
Well, I know, you brought up Jim Lee, and if you ever look at Jim Lee's work, it's a 3-man team on his artwork. It's Jim Lee, Scott Williams, and Alex Sinclair. That's the artwork that you see almost every time from Jim Lee. It's those 3 guys doing the inking, doing the color, all that stuff. I miss it, to be honest with you, because you get different interpretations of the artwork, I think, with having another person involved with it than you normally do with just the computer graphics right now, that just copy and paste type stuff. But I don't think we're ever going to go back to it, unfortunately. And I think some of the artwork has suffered because of that. I think the exception is right now we get great cover artwork on our books, and that's kind of what the focus is. And I think there's a lot of interior artwork that's not as good as it used to be. And I think that's one of the main reasons, because they have to pump it out so fast, and they're skipping these steps with other people doing the artwork, and they're just using automated type systems, and it shows.
Damn.
The inking used to, but then back in the day, I remember where you would get like a book and you'd be like, oh man, like, so yeah, Jim Lee, and he's being inked by Scott Williams. That's awesome. But then at times you would get Art Thibert, like ink, and you're like, well, that's not going to be near as good. Yeah. Thibert had like a much more thinner line. He didn't add that as much depth. Alan Davis is not as good without Mark Farmer, and so you even get that today with the colorist. Like if this colorist is working with this artist, it works. But I think that the coloring has gotten so much more sophisticated nowadays that they do fill that role of the inker. And I do miss it too, because like inking is a big deal, and you can Google search this, and there's like a Gene Colan Dracula image where like 10 different people inked it, and it's like 10 different images, and having that right artist and that right inker working together was something magical. And I think that what's happened is we've transitioned now. So now it's Jamie McKelvey is a great penciler, but when he's working with Matt Wilson doing his coloring, it's amazing. And so you get these teams that are now no longer penciler and inker, but line artist and colorist. Yeah. Right. And
I do like the palette is much larger than it used to be as far as the colors that they're able to use. And I enjoy that aspect of the coloring of the books, but I do traditionally like having multiple people working on a certain art piece.
One thing we've really lost with the absence of the inker is our backgrounds, because a lot of people don't realize, but those backgrounds were mostly done by inkers. Like I know people personally that have published work, but they're not credited for it because, these guys, especially some of the image guys, they had studios behind them. They had interns, and they did a lot of the background work and a lot of the detail. And so you miss that nowadays. You get a lot more blank backgrounds, which I think is kind of sad.
Yeah. I would agree. How about you, Dylan?
Never.
Who's your favorite inker?
Favorite inker? Well, I probably don't know that many, but I know I like JP Mayer, and Dave Stewart. Is he not? But Dave Stewart, that's the wrong. He's colors. Yeah.
I like Emberlin.
He does Venom. He's one of my favorite inkers today.
I like Dick Ayers. He was in my opinion, one of the best inkers on Jack Kirby. And I love his work. But Jack Kirby's work, it looks completely different when it's like Dick or when it's Mike Royer. Like it looks completely different. So
Really?
Inking is a lost art, it feels. But now also a lot, because it goes digitally. I know comic book artists now that they don't do actual penciled pages. They do it digitally, and they can pretty much pencil and ink all at the same time.
Yep.
So
yeah, I guess sometimes I see like inks and pencils and colors on some books, but I guess not, a lot more digital, like you guys were saying. So that's messed up. I feel like the better books though are the ones that I noticed that do have the inks and the pencils, the inks and the colors. The artwork is probably better most of the time.
But DC still uses inkers more probably than Marvel does.
Yeah.
But you get this thing with DC where they'll, in order to keep a book on time, because so many of them are like published, twice a month.
Yeah.
You're slowing down on that soon. But you'll have 3 different inkers on one book, and it leads to an inconsistent quality. So if you're going to go the route of having an inker, you got to have a solid inker, because switching an inker from page to page is very obvious, and it affects the flow of the story, in my opinion.
I know. It's like Shazam was like different inkers and different artists, and sometimes it would work, I guess, and sometimes it's just like, damn, that's just a little bit too much. You'd have like 3 different artists on the book, and then like 3 different inkers. Somehow though, Shazam has been awesome.
Do you think that the reason why DC has more inkers is because of Jim Lee and his influence that he has with his 2 guys?
I think it's more their schedule. DC seems to always, if you hear the rumblings in the industry, they're always the one that seem to be a little bit more behind, right?
Yeah.
So having the inker means that your penciler doesn't, like, when you lose the inker, now the pencilers have to do very tight pencils. And like we were saying earlier, like some of the early days, like the pencils weren't that tight, the inking would like finish it. That's why a lot of them even say breakdowns and finishes, not necessarily pencils and inks. So I think that they do that to speed up the process, and that's why you see multiple inkers on the same book. So I think that's why I would say that's probably mostly why they use inkers more than Marvel.
Yeah. Tracers.
You remember that's the whole bit in the beginning of Chasing Amy.
I love it. It's one of
There's
my favorite bits. You're a freaking tracer.
Now I want to draw it, who drew it to art it.
I always love that, man. And I remember Banky Edwards get all pissed.
And Holt McNeil, right?
Fucking Tracer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so funny. When they'd be just calling him out because they'd see how pissed he'd get. You're a fucking Tracer, dude.
Your mother's a tracer. That's Casey Affleck, who's the guy that accuses him of tracing. That's Bennett's brother. That's really funny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dylan, I'm actually going to have to split, buddy.
Oh, no worries, man, because I was going to say I was waiting for one of you guys to tell me you're good, because I'm getting tired myself. My eyes I got to get those blue blockers like Jem, man. I swear the eyes start really messing with you, man, when you look at the screen. And then it just, it's no good for my eyesight with the headaches I always get. But, dude.
Because Bob just messaged me. He said he's on his way, so I got to get going, too.
I guess this worked. It was meant to be, you know what I'm saying? It worked, dude. We had a great time. We went longer than we did last time, so that means we had some fun. So how long did we go last time? We went about 2 hours. We went 2 hours, maybe hour 40 at the most. I think we went 2 though. I think we went 2. Dude, I had so much fun. I was so glad to get you on here, Bueller. Thank you for hanging out, bro. And Robbie, dude, we gotta do this again, man.
My pleasure.
Dude, thanks again, bro. Fucking, I don't know if you guys want to say anything you got going on. I'll start with you, Robbie. If you want to do a little outro, tell the people what you got going on.
Pop Culture Philosophers. You can check out our website, popculturephilosophers.com, where you can get the latest podcasts. We do a podcast, and it's a lot of fun. We talk about comic books, movies, television, all that stuff. popculturephilosophers.com. And, of course, give us a subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't already.
Bueller, tell them what you got going on, my brother.
Not much. I don't do a lot. and I'll probably do less. So make sure you like and subscribe to Robbie's channel and Dylan's channel. There you go.
Thank you, man. You're too kind. Come on, man. He's got an awesome comics coming. You better go sub him up, man, because he's the best. But yo, guys, you know what it is. It's your boy Dylan. It's been a long day. This was amazing stream. Thank you everyone who came and hung out. And tomorrow, hope you guys can make my first interview with the writer of Finger Guns. I always almost mess that up. I don't know how to word it. Vault Comics first or whatever. But the writer of Finger Guns is going to be on Dylan's Comic Book Rants for my first interview at 9 o'clock p.m. Central or Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you guys can make it. I try to get it a little bit earlier because I know some people got work, Monday morning. So we try to get that going. So I hope to see you guys there. And man, it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot more to come. So can't wait, man. And thank you guys for hanging out, dude. It was like awesome as always, man. Got two big, as I'll be hearing in the community. Dude, you got all these big dogs on the stream. You guys are the big dogs, man. So thanks for hanging out with the little dog, man. Like, it was just awesome to get you guys on here, and just awesome to talk comic books for over 2.5 hours, man. And I appreciate it, man.
Cool.
So, we'll catch you guys later, and appreciate it again. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up on your way out, make sure you guys sub up everybody in the chat. And we'll see you later, and peace out.